Hold on.
What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? I have a little, I won't even call it a podcast, like a little 30-minute hangout or so. My brother XBot 448, the newest member of BGST.
Oh yeah. What's
Yeah,
up,
you know
man?
what I mean? It seems like me and him are the only two that are seeing the bigger picture here. You know what I mean? What's going on? I think Nintendo, I've said this for many years, yo, that Nintendo is out to destroy uh the how should I say the morals, just destroy the society. They're trying to push this agenda, even by some of their games. Smash Brothers, pause. You know what I mean? Little jokers running around catching stars, colorful Skittles, and grown men making the Wii dances. Like I don't know what the hell is going on with America, but and even just America all over the world. As of this generation, the Nintendo fan base, the populace, has been very quiet. They haven't said nothing this whole generation. The Wii U fan, I call them Wii U weirdos. They've been very quiet this whole generation. Nintendo announced the Switch. I see all these pro Nintendo channels. I'm being attacked verbally, mentally. I had someone today throw a fucking shitty pamper at me like he was in a fucking Mario Kart 8 on the
Yeah.
fucking freeway today. You know what I mean? I have these two grown men in Kentucky, Fat Gamer and what's the other guy, Drone Crusher, threatened me and my family's life with probably, with a bodily harm. Like these jokers are out there losing their mind, being that Nintendo has announced this new console. Now, I got my brother with me, Xbot 448, right? And again,
Yes.
and it's crazy. Let me cut my camera on because I always get pegged as me being a Nintendo hater, right? They always call me a Nintendo hater. You just hate Nintendo. And I tell jokers time and time and again, it is Nintendo that got me into gaming.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the Sega Master System. It wasn't the Atari. It wasn't the ColecoVision. It was Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Most
Me
of these
too,
people,
man.
right? You see this right here? NES. NES. Most of these jokers never played that a day in their life. It was, again, Nintendo that got me into gaming. So, and this is all jokes aside. I know I've been talking about this last few days because I'm really just trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. You know what I mean?
Mm.
We all can agree that the Nintendo Switch has been the Wii U. Maybe you may feel different, Xbox, but the Wii U has been a disaster. It's been a fail. Some people
Well,
blame it on the what you
it
say?
it definitely did with the company as well. I mean, look how fast they went into another piece of hardware. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, the Switch came out when in 2000. I'm sorry, the Wii U came out in 2012.
Yeah.
Well, it's been 5 years. I give it almost 5 years. But well, a lot of people didn't consider the Wii U being a eighth generation console. But weak as it was, weak as it may, that was Nintendo's eighth generation offering. The Wii U wasn't the competition for the 360. I'm sorry, wasn't the competition. Yeah, of the 360 and the PS3. It was the competition of the PS4 and the Xbox One, as anemic as it was,
Yeah.
and even with the Switch, the Switch is a ninth generation console. This is their ninth generation offering, set per Nintendo. This is their. It's not a handheld, ladies and gentlemen. And I do also find it very funny and very ironic. Everyone said, "Well, it's like it's gonna the most powerful handheld. I can't wait to play it go." And I've never heard none of these guys talking about playing the 3DS, the PS Vita. They don't like handhelds. Now they're excited about playing, games on the go. Like it's crazy as hell. But anyway, this is Nintendo's ninth generation offering. Now, how I feel about Nintendo and their policies, and I want you to take over to this. You know how I feel about Nintendo and their policies, and how they're just, they're so stuck in their ways. But my thing is, we've seen this movie already, them releasing severely underpowered console hardware. They can't run in the big AAA multiplats. The same thing that you guys have been begging for Nintendo to do for the last 2.5 years, or whatever the case may be. They went out and did the same thing all over again. Put out some very, I mean, they really took the cake this go round. They're releasing a console, whatever you want to call it, that's weaker than 2013 hardware. You know, and
playing 360 games for third party as well, man.
yeah, you know what I mean, slightly more powerful than the Wii U. So I say that to say this, and I all day want to join. I say that to say this. Now I want your opinion. You know how you may feel. I was really trying to make this interesting. It's sad that these Nintendo guys, they talk so much shit in the comment section and this, that, and the other. I'm opening up the panel. I want you guys to tell me why, why this is such a good purchase, whatever. Because 99.9% of you guys, you were begging Nintendo for more power. You were begging for Nintendo, they're gonna get third party. You guys were jumping up and down. Am I right? When they saw NBA 2K and Skyrim, yeah, the third party is coming. And now you're saying no one's gonna buy a Nintendo platform to buy third party. I'm only buying it for Mario and Zelda. You know what I mean? But enough of me. How do you feel about this? Am I bugging? Am I trying to get blood from a stone? Like, what's the problem? Talk to me.
Nah, dude, I think you're right on point with that. Like when we first saw the reveal of the Switch, I think one of the biggest hype things was when they saw Skyrim and when they saw NBA 2K. It's like, oh man, third party support. And that was a big problem with the Wii U as well, because the Wii U, the exclusive, like the Marios and stuff like that, those shit sold. You know what I'm saying? That was no problem. But they weren't getting the Call of Duties, they weren't getting the new Battlefields, stuff like that, and that really hurt the Wii U. And for this Switch to come out, first of all, it's just a fucking tablet. I can't wrap my head around the whole it's a console thing, because if you take all the wording out of the advertisements and you just show any casual gamer that picture of that thing, they'll tell you it's a tablet, yo. So I think Nintendo just kind of put that console name on it in order to make that $300 price for it, and this way they can make a profit off of the hardware. But that's kind of spitting in the face of consumers and gamers out there, trying to say you guys ain't smart enough, that even though you see this as a tablet, we're gonna say it's a console, and you're gonna fucking agree with us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't see that. But third party support,
y'all bugging.
Oh, here we go.
Y'all bugging and tripping, man. What's happening?
What's going on all day?
Man, I was just preaching,
what
man.
Up, man? What up, man? What's going on, Bob? Me out. What's going on? What's the question, man? What's the question, man? What you asking?
No. It's not. It wasn't really a question. You know what I mean? It wasn't really a question. What I'm saying is this. I'm trying to get. I was trying to get some Nintendo guys in here to talk about this, but
they scared because they know they got blinders on, man.
And it's not, I'm very respectful. I joke around and like I said, I'm cool. I'm not saying man Obi one of the best of friends, but I just spoke to the Joker several times. He's a cool cat, you know what I mean? I respect everybody, but at the end of the day, my thing is these same channel. All I'm saying, these same channels now, like I said, this whole generation, the Nintendo fan base has been very quiet. It is what it is. They got their teeth kicked in. You see my man Fat Gamer, and somebody pissed in his mouth. The neighbor pissed in his mouth, right? Nintendo comes out with the new console, which is cool, new hardware, something to get excited about. I get it. But now somebody's going to dominate. But these same people were begging Nintendo for a capable console that can get third party. And then remember when they had the unveil, you saw these, people that was on board to make games. And I told you guys then, I said, I'm not saying the console may or whatever you want, it may not get third party, but it's not going to get the same AAA multiplats. It's not going to get games like The Division. You know what I mean? They're going to get it. I told you guys that then. I even had my brother D talking about the coolest of cores and maybe can outdo 4K. I told you guys then it's going to be extremely anemic and it's going to be weaker than what we already have. But what I don't understand, basically what I'm saying is that when it comes to Nintendo, right? Only with Nintendo,
right?
That they get a pass, they get handled with white gloves, and by them people doing that, this is Nintendo. To me, this is why they're in the position that they're in. You know what I mean? Just looking how great, like I said, I'm 38 years old. Looking how great Nintendo used to be, having all the third-party support, dominating, and to where they are now, they are a former shell of themselves. How could you put out a ninth-gen console that's weaker than 8th generation hardware? And I'm supposed to be okay with that.
Well, I mean, I feel like, man, they're going a whole different direction than, you know, people like you and people who like power and graphics. They're going a whole nother direction. They figure that they can't win, even though they could compete, but they choose a different direction. You know what I mean? So people go to that console for a certain genre of games, right?
Okay.
When people pick up a Nintendo Switch, I'm pretty sure they're playing Pokemon, they're playing the Zeldas, they're playing the Marios, just like you play Gears on, you know, you go there for your selective purchases. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not going there to play 2K. So what kind of graphic fidelity do you want to see?
I see. Look, all day. Listen, I didn't even know you were pro Switch. Get him. Finish it. I didn't even know you were pro Switch. Oh, so let me ask you a question. All right. Okay. I got you here. Right.
Right.
You just said to me something very valuable. You're not getting the Switch for third party, right?
No.
Or whatever the case. But here's the thing. Now, and this is why I have my doubts about this thing being this big success. You said no one looks at the Nintendo Switch as a primary console. That in itself is what's your problem, because again, not everybody can afford to have multiple consoles. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whether you go Xbox, you're fine. Why? Because you know. Here's the thing: Xbox. Maybe you might prefer one exclusive over the other. Maybe you like God of War more than you do Gears of War. Fine, but guess what? You're guaranteed to have support. You're guaranteed to have your AAA multiplayer, which you get 2 or 3 every month, right? But you're not going to get that for for Nintendo's platform.
No, but I understand that though. You know what I mean? You know, I accept that.
I get it. So. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the masses, right? The masses.
Well, yeah.
Like if you had all the money, and you have to go in the store and pick out of the big three. You know what I'm saying? You're saying is that it's not viable for people to pick up the Switch just based on the multiplayer they won't be receiving, right?
Well, yo, check this out. All day, I got a different way to ask this question. Yo, put yourself in the mindset of like a casual gamer, right? You go into a store. All right, the person in the store shows you 2 pieces of hardware, right? Both $300. Remember, you're a casual gamer. Now they say with this piece of hardware, you'll be able to take games on the go. And it's like, oh wow, that's cool. But when it comes down to like but they'll tell you, Call of Duty ain't coming on there, Battlefield's not coming on there, and it's going to be really low. Grand Theft Auto is not going to be on there. But then you look at this over here, and this is the Xbox One S. It's going to play all those games. It's not portable, but it comes with an Ultra HD Blu-ray player in it. As a casual, which would you spend $300 on? Think about that.
Oh, man, depends on my age and my feeling. If I
this nigga said depends on the condition of the feet. Hey, bro, listen, you ain't about to come on this motherfucker shucking and jiving. Listen, I've known you the better part of at least 6 months, right? I've never in my life heard you talk about some handheld gaming. Actually, and this was even with these channels. Even my boy Crap. I've known that nigga 19 years. I met him at a KK meeting. I've never seen Crap talk about the 3DS, the Vita, any handheld gaming. Now everybody's gonna be able to backpack at the bus stop or the train station playing Pokemon Go on the go. Like we gotta be realistic.
Can I see a USB cord? You got any chargers? You got any power packs? Looking around, look like a Ghostbuster and shit.
Yeah, we talk about maybe 2 hours on the
now. That bothers me. Out of all things that I've heard in that weird ass conference, we'll get into that because I didn't really get a chance to talk about it. But I mean, as a whole, I understand the market, right? But that battery life, come on. If your market is as a hybrid, right? 2 hours is a short time for someone that's buying it for portability. You're gonna have to walk around with a fucking proton pack. I'm not bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? To get, the value out of that,
3 hours on the Zelda game, man. Like, yo, when it comes to action adventure, kind of like RPG type games and stuff like that, where you're wandering around and stuff, 3 hours goes by really quick.
Fast.
You know what I'm saying? and they're gonna be like, nope, low battery.
No, but even better than that, I question a person's mental state, their mental health. Who the hell plays a handheld for 3 hours out in the street? Like, where are you? You know, like I said yesterday on BGST, I've never seen someone with a big ass iPad in their hand playing the video game. I just don't see these scenarios, you know. And again, like I've said at the beginning when they first showed it, what the problem is, again, I'm sorry, they pointed to the Wii, right? They see how successful the Wii was, and it sold, which it did. And like I said, for the Wii was the gift and the curse, because to me, in my honest opinion, Nintendo's has been chasing that gimmick, that lightning in the bottle again. You know what I mean? That quote unquote, you know, the Wii didn't appeal to the casual gamers. That should appeal to the non-gamers, such as my grandmother, my aunts, and you know what I mean, that didn't buy any software for it. Maybe played Wii Sports, and that was it.
And I think they're still going off that coattail still.
Yeah, you know, and this is what they're trying to do. Now you may, like I said in the day, I've kind of outgrown Mario. I mean, the new one looked okay, but I can't see myself paying at least $400 to play Mario or even Zelda. But again, with me, like I said, what I've always said, for me to buy another Nintendo console, and maybe some of you may feel different, maybe we may not care about that, but you know how we be in parties, bugging out while I'm playing, whatever I'm playing, you guys are playing whatever you can. I like to do stuff like that, you know what I mean? I don't like to sit and play by myself, and you know, I like to bug out, pop shit. Hey, all day, you see me in these parties. When I'm off about 2 hours with some cough syrup and some Adderall, I've been there cooked noodles. I've been there James Brown, you know what I mean? Motherfucking Jackie the Joke Man. And again, I keep coming back to this question is why don't we hold, or why is it wrong, or am I looked at it, you know, as being like I got 3 eyeballs, as wanting to hold Nintendo to the same standards as Microsoft and Sony?
I don't think, because they don't hold themselves to that standard.
Well, but here's the thing, yo, all day.
What up?
You know, Nintendo is trying to grab the casuals like they did with the Wii. Like even Z said, Next Gen said, he said that they're trying to get the non-gamers that, you know, that purchase the Wii to also get the Switch as well. But the thing is, those non-gamers, or those very, very casual gamers, now have cell phones and tablets that play these free-to-plays. You got, you know, the Bubble Witch Saga and all sorts of games that they play, right? Now, they'll look at the Switch and they'll see kind of like the tablet form and be like, oh, that's interesting. But once they see the price tag, don't you think they're just going to go right back to their cell phone or their little tablet that they've been playing all these games on?
That's a good point, because now, you know, Mario is exclusive to the iOS. So if you already own an iPad, then you'll have that game for $10. Boom, get your Mario fix out the way. I do understand that they might be alienating their fan base a little bit.
They're killing themselves right now is what they're doing, man. Yo, as a Nintendo fan, because I grew up like Next Gen. I grew up, Nintendo got me into gaming. I had my NES. I was playing all sorts of games on that. Like he said, third party out the ass, right? And all of a sudden, they're not like that anymore. People are like, well, they have the Marios and Zeldas, but the Wii U had Mario Kart, all that good shit.
Well, let me ask y'all a question. Do you think, if the Switch did get Battlefield 1, Call of Duty, all this stuff, would people even gravitate to it?
It'd be more viable.
Well, okay, you go. I'll go, Bobby. You go. Go.
My bad. I'd say
no. Go.
It'd be more viable, because then all of a sudden those multiplats that everybody is playing right now become portable. All right, you saw like they had the NBA 2K in there, so obviously they feel they have the infrastructure for online, right? Because with NBA 2K, I don't care if it's my career or if you're going in to play competitive against other people. NBA 2K needs to link up online all the time. Your VC, your virtual currency, and everything like that is held into a 2K server, so it has to be online. So they have some type of structure there. But they don't have hardware powerful enough.
I think, sorry, not because I think it's going to be the same thing with the FIFA, or even the same thing with the Madden for the Wii. They're going to have their own autistic version of the game. That was another. Again, I'm going to let you go again. That was another one of the issues in that grab. I said before, when people were still trying to go back and forth with me about it's going to be at least on the power of the Xbox One. And I told them no. Then I said, when you have games such as the Division, Titanfall 2, whatever, that are always online, that in even though this happens, you can connect to Wi-Fi, but you don't have wireless hotspot everywhere you go outside. You don't always have internet everywhere you go outside. So how is a game like the Division that's always online? How is that going to work on the Switch? You know what I mean? Mr. 100 just joined. And I had those questions then, but even and I'm gonna piggyback up and I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Even to you said, even if what if the Switch had Battlefield and it can't, because it's not powerful enough to run the what's the Frostbite engine 3.0. So you know what I mean?
Like I do understand having at least having those Battlefield and all that shit on the Switch, but at the same time, the way it is now, currently in this gaming industry, I personally don't think that people give a fuck about playing Call of Duty on the Switch. I really don't. You know what I mean?
You said they don't. You said you don't think people care about playing on it. Okay, all right. Look,
I don't think so.
Listen, I'm gonna go to Mr. 100 to join. Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
All right, all day. What's the difference between the Switch,
and the Wii U? Yeah,
and the Wii?
What's the difference?
I think it's an upgrade from the Wii U, man. Just redefined.
Okay, it's not that much more powerful, but what I'm saying is, we've already seen this movie before. All right, where you had Nintendo. People keep talking about these exclusives, and like Xbox, we've always had Smash. We had Mario Kart. We had all those games. It's not going to sell any hardware. The casuals didn't go out and buy that shit. These handheld. No one bought a 3DS because that was $250. Let's be clear of this. This thing is $300 without a game. And this whole, they want you to, play on the go. Another controller, that's another $80. You know what I mean? And what if you did want to talk online? You're going to charge me?
That's stupid. You might as well call a motherfucker for free.
Listen, forget. Us paying for the online. I have to pay for a downloadable at the app cost.
So this app is a paid app?
It's a paid app, not including what you're gonna pay a month or whatever they're gonna charge you a year.
So that's excluding the premium service, right?
Well, yeah. What'd you say, bro?
No, I said so. This app on your phone is excluded from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excluding the service. So again, that's like but Mr. 100, what's going on, good brother? How you feeling today?
What's up, man? Trying to get up. Saying there's lost $1 million in Vegas.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I heard. That's why I didn't even bother you. Said you said you were going out to Vegas. Let me ask you a question. Like I haven't.
Went to Vegas to get his head reshaped.
What are your thoughts about the Switch? What I'm saying, like the show, I said, is it fair to consider the Nintendo Switch the Wii U Pro? Basically saying it's slightly more powerful than the Wii U, but forget the power. But what are your thoughts about it? Do you think this is going to be this big, huge success? Do you think it's going to take off? Or you get it? Like, talk to me.
I'm gonna get it because I like to, Zelda looked cool with me because I just buy shit for fun. It looks cool. I don't have a handheld. My handheld is my tablet. So if I can sit there and use them $50 Joy-Cons, that shit is not made for kids. I'm gonna tell you that. My son will not get one of them motherfuckers. He's 11 years old. He will break air if he could. So that shit ain't happening. That shit is that's not made. That shit, them prices is too out of range. That's a lot of money for replacement parts. What they showed, that conference was, oh my god, man, I don't know. I need to been on drugs. Cause that shit was all. I thought I was watching Dragon Ball Z and the Ginyu Force, where they all that posing and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? And then, like you say, that shit, you're getting ports and you're getting games. We getting our arcade games that we already play. I get it just to sit down. I'm still gonna be on Xbox Live and maybe drone. You know what I'm saying? Snag a 2 monster to say, want to play some Smash Brothers, beat their ass for fun.
All right. So,
that concept is not. But that concept they have is stolen from. I'm not saying it's stolen, but someone already made that concept with an Android tablet already. It's been at CES for the last 3 years. I can't think. It's called Morpheus or something. That's not that they just took that concept and probably paid them to shut the fuck up.
Okay. All right. Again, so you're getting the Switch day one.
No, I ain't gonna get it day one. If I get it, it's gonna get sold. It's not getting opened up.
So,
I'm using the shit as an investment. It's not gonna get
okay.
opened up. Nah,
Okay,
it's
so
gonna
my
go on
thing is,
eBay.
okay, I'm just saying. Oh, yo, Ziggy, your boy D. Oh shit, I was looking for a Nintendo fan. All right, hold on. I'm sorry.
Oh, they
I'm
all
saying
mad
some
at you.
things. This.
They all
Okay.
mad at you. Shit. They want your head.
Okay.
But
Well,
yo,
all
Yeah,
right.
man.
Here's the thing. All right. So, maybe you can answer this for me. And why and listen again. I think this is why Nintendo was in the way that they are now. More people, like I said, Nintendo guys have been very quiet this generation. Have been saying this much. You even got motherfucking Dr. Trey throwing them gang signs now. Like these motherfuckers are lit. Um, why is it? Why don't we hold? I play this. What if Microsoft, right? Because we can't ignore what's been going on this whole generation about power. You know, power. And for Nintendo to put out a new console. Now, listen. Now, this is not my words. I would listen. I wouldn't have a word to say anything negative. Nintendo was to say this is the successor to the 3DS. I will be quiet. I mean, you can hear a motherfucking mosquito pissing on cotton. I wouldn't say shit. But this is their ninth generation offering that's going to be on the market for at least 5 years until you get new hardware from Nintendo.
you
You know
know,
what I mean?
Z, that's my biggest problem is the marketing, and I believe like they put that console name on there, and they're trying to tell you, no, it's not a handheld, it's a console, just so they could put it out for that $300 price and make a profit off the hardware. They're basically shitting on the consumer right now, and trying to say that we're stupid over here and that we can't, even though our eyes are seeing tablet, even though it plugs into a TV, because any tablet today can plug into a TV. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So,
Yes.
like, what makes it a console? That's what I want to know, man.
But Bot, check this shit out. This is the craziest shit. This is what I'm saying. For $300, you can get you a damn near you can get you a 1080p tablet that's just as powerful as that Switch. That damn near play every game. Because what they bringing back, Samurai Showdown 2, you can play that shit on Android. You bring about Sonic, you can play the shit on Android and iOS, on iPads and everything. Like you said, you can automatically hook up to it. But when I was looking at reviews about when they had the thing, it looks better in a handheld than it looked on the TV. What kind of shit is that? So why I need to dock your ass when it looks better in the handheld? And you telling me to spend $300 on a 720p monitor on the screen? Get the fuck out of here! It's 2017.
See, that's my whole thing, man. It's like the $300 price point. That they're saying that this isn't a handheld, but they're trying to advertise it as portable, and they're trying to hammer home this is a console. Not for anything. They fucked up with their consumers, their fan base when it came to the Wii U. Yo, before the launch of the Wii U, they're like, yeah, third-party support. Look, we got Call of Duty. All the shit's going down. It's going down on the Wii U, and then they left it as an absolute desert. Right? So they have to give back to their consumers. And what do they give consumers? They give them what? The Wii U Pro. And I don't think that's right, man. I really don't. I was looking for that more powerful traditional console, bring it back to its roots. You really get those first party gems like the Zelda, the Mario that a lot of people buy, and you still get the third party games like the Call of Duty, the Battlefields, and stuff like that. That's where they should have went, yeah.
Okay, you know what? I got a Nintendo guy coming now. I hope he's a Nintendo guy. I hope he's not a weirdo.
I hope he's ready because you guys done warm me up now, man.
Yeah,
no.
I need some backup, man.
And then hang on, y'all was talking about that third party app. What the fuck? I need a companion app for a damn thing on. Why this shit can't be built into the console or wherever the tablet?
See, that's
why
crazy.
I can't talk?
How come they can't do that shit natively? That's insane. They should
Because
be able to
they want you to pay for it to talk to little kids. They want you to pay to talk to little kids.
Nintendo want their conscience clean. Just in case you got the motherfuckers like Dr. Trey out there playing Mario Kart 19 with their socks off. Woo! Ain't talking to children. That's
but you guys forget, man. The Switch is a JRPG haven, bro. So a lot of people in that market.
Only thing that's good for it is it's taking a whole lot of these quote on Sony what they call it, Sony exclusives. Now it's on the Switch. They coming to the Switch.
I'll tell you right now, yo. One of the benefits, one of the things I hope happen when the Switch comes out, I hope it's hugely popular in Japan, because with Xbox Scorpio coming out this year, being that more powerful 4K 60 native console and everything like that, yo, not for anything, but Sony is going to get strangled in between these two as well. If it's popular in Japan, I don't even know, because even the Japanese market, they're into some weird shit, and they're kind of like moving even away from mobile into some other crazy shit right now as well. So I'm not even sure if it's going to hook up on their home country. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Cloud. Somebody in the comment section said Xbox and PS4 users will buy a Switch because of the dry spells recently. That's a fact. That's a fucking
Well,
fact.
hold on. You want to talk about dry spells? At the launch, this Switch has one game, Zelda, and then 4 others. That's it. Zelda and then 4 others.
Well, my thing is, you got it so long. Why you couldn't? If you want to introduce, you said this is all your systems in one from day one. Why could you couldn't have Mario ready? And then Mario looked like a ripoff from the Sonic joint. That's what Mario looked like. It's a rip.
Sonic Adventure?
Yeah, that Sonic World shit. Whatever, he was in the city. That shit like a ripoff from that shit. And you see they got Mario spinning like Sonic. The fuck out of here. I wasn't that motherfucking impressed with that shit like that. I was impressed with Zelda, because Zelda, they talked. They looking like they was, the first time you saw Zelda and Link talk, Link was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, Zelda? I done saved you so many times. What's up, baby? You gonna finally give me some? You saved me.
But I mean, hey, Bone, but at least they giving people, a AAA exclusive at launch. You don't really see that too much, especially with Xbox
But
and
dude,
PS4.
if
You don't
look
see
at
What AAA exclusive? You trying to say, okay, Breath of the Wild, I heard it's not even off the Wii U yet. I heard a motherfucker saying I ain't gonna buy it if it coming on the Wii U. I heard it ain't discontinued yet. So you're gonna buy that console, $300, play Breath of the Wild, and what else? I heard they supposed to give you a free game that you can rent for a week. For a month.
for a month, and then they take that shit
Yeah,
back.
take it back. What kind of shit is that? That's anti-consumer like a motherfucker.
It is. It is. It is.
That is really
It
in the
is.
work. Nintendo saying "fuck you, pay me." That's the "fuck you, pay me" scheme.
I got somebody here named Andrew. Andrew?
Yes.
Okay, you're not Andrew House,
first of
right?
all,
We don't want no problems. No problems.
thank you for coming on the show. I take it that you're a Nintendo fan?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. You're a Nintendo fan, right? Okay, hold on 1 second. Nintendo fan?
Hey, Andrew, it's me and you against the world, man. Let's go.
Andrew, I just got to the Terror Dome.
Andrew, I'm already warmed up too. So man, let's.
All right, you're a Nintendo fan, right? And you're excited about the Switch, right?
Actually, I'm not excited for the Switch.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I need to prove it. Okay, well, tell me why you're a Nintendo fan and why you're not excited about the Switch then.
I'm not excited because it's not what I expected it going to be, and only having 5 games for it, it's not really worth buying day one for me.
Okay.
Would you buy it at $250?
Yo,
Would it
Andrew.
be a day one? Andrew, would it be a day one for you for $250?
For $250, maybe.
It's more plausible. It's more plausible at 250.
So you don't feel Zelda is like a day one buy for you to just play Zelda?
Zelda, no.
You went to Splatoon Part 2, 1.5?
1.5, man.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, all right.
I'm
Well,
not
let me
going to buy
ask
a
you this then.
system for one game.
Okay. What part of the world are you from, Andrew? Tibet? Where you from? Hello. Andrew.
I'm from the Mid-Atlantic, actually.
From Mid-Atlantic. Okay.
Maya. All right. Let me ask you this, and I guess I was looking for some diehard Nintendo guys. Let me ask you this then. So you said it was cheaper, right? So if it was cheaper, you would buy it. Well, you don't have a problem with Nintendo releasing for the 3rd generation in a row, releasing very shitty hardware. You're cool with that? Not saying, you're cool with them releasing a console in 2017 that's weaker than shit that came out in 2013.
I actually do have a problem with the hardware being weaker.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a problem. It depends if they're trying to target, like if they're marketing this as a handheld, it doesn't matter.
Wait,
But if this
hold
is
on. We can't hear you, bro. Hold on.
You,
What are you on? Wi-Fi? What's going on? We can't hear you.
He say he in the
Hello?
lunchroom.
who is that talking anyway, man?
Who is this?
That's Team Fusion.
Yeah.
Hello.
if they're marketing this as a handheld, I have no problem because handhelds are usually not that
Hold on one
powerful.
second. Hold on before you
Um,
drop knowledge on this. Give us that ether. What's your name first of all, good brother?
Uh, Team everything.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
We can't hear you. What are you in? What you in school, bro? Let me cut your mic on. If your man got colon cancer, or he on
He in the break room at work.
Your break room, yo, he in the
he in
broom
that closet.
closet.
He
Yo,
in
he in
that
the broom
closet.
closet getting paid by the
all
hour
right,
to bring on
Hey,
the
are
show.
you in there? Now I'm just getting these gloves. Hold on.
all right, yeah, get the mic together. We can't hear you.
All right, is this good now?
All right, now, all right. First, what's your name, brother?
Team everything. Yeah.
Who?
We team
Team everything. Is
everything.
this good now?
Okay, team everything.
I
All right,
adjusted my
team everything.
mic.
All right, team everything. All right. First of all, are you a Nintendo fan?
Yes, I'm a Nintendo
Uh,
fan.
what makes you a Nintendo? First of all, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, I'm 17. So
Jeez, I got a child in here. Lord.
That young buck, man.
It's all good.
Okay, 17
He
years
down
old.
there grown.
Maybe or maybe you not have hit puberty yet. Maybe you're into chicks. Maybe you're into dicks. I don't know. But I'm talking to you, right?
yeah,
You said if they're marketing this as a handheld, you don't have a problem. Well,
yeah,
they're not marketing this as their handheld. They have a handheld division, which is the 3DS, which is very successful for them. Now, these are not my words. This is coming from per Nintendo of Japan. This is their ninth generation offering. This is their console.
yeah.
Okay, so now with that out of the way, this is not their. They're not doing away with the 3DS. 3DS still has a ton of support. This is not the successor for the 3DS. Now, with that out of the way, it's a home console. All right, that's it. All right, so let's talk to me.
All right. So I know it's more. I know Nintendo is clearly advertising this as a console, but I'm just saying that it will be better. It will be better perceived if it was marketed towards a handheld. That's what I was saying. Now with me, I don't like the price. Honestly, I think this console should be 250 package with maybe like 1-2 switch. I do not like the launch lineup, but I think Zelda is clearly going to sell this console. It's a huge game, and really, if you buy a Switch, you're pretty much guaranteed going to get Zelda with this console. But I think people are hyped with this console because they're not thinking about when it comes out. They're thinking about the future with potential of Xenoblade and Mario Odyssey and Splatoon 2 in the summer. That's where I think
Okay,
people are hyped for.
okay, all right. What about this?
But can't you play Splatoon? Matter of fact, that's not really a Splatoon 2. That's 1.5.
Yeah,
So you're
but
gonna
I
pay?
was about to say,
They making you pay for another motherfucking game again that you already paid for already for a couple
Well, I
of
mean,
characters.
the Switch is the AKA the Portlandia right now.
Yeah, it's
You
port, it's
know,
porting everything. Neo
but I
Geo.
mean,
I could play Neo Geo games right now on my Xbox One.
but even better than that, those same games that you said that people are excited for, they're on the Wii U, and
You're right.
those
Yeah.
same games didn't move any hardware. Didn't make the Wii U as successful as Nintendo's worst selling console of all times. Let me ask you a question. All right, real shit. Why do you think the Wii U failed? What
Well,
the main reason?
the Wii U, surprisingly, when it launched, it sold 3 million, I believe, within the first 48 days, something like that. The problem with the Wii U was that after the launch, it had like a 7 month drought with nothing. And then after that 7 month drought, the nearest game was Pikmin 3, I believe, like in like August. So I think that was a problem with the Wii U. Also, the Wii U didn't have like a killer app at the launch. Like Super Mario Bros. U was not a killer app. It was just another Mario platformer game, another 2D Mario, which we already got on the Wii. which we already got on
And the
the
3DS.
DS. Yeah, the
Mhm.
3DS. So it was just something that we already had. And the Wii U, it didn't have any like it didn't have like a Zelda. It didn't have a Mario Kart. It didn't have any of these
Wait, get
games at
Mario
launch.
Kart. Get Mario
No,
Kart
but
8.
I'm talking about at launch.
At
At
launch. Yeah,
launch.
no.
Yeah, at launch. They didn't have anything to get people excited. If you watch that E3 trailer, I mean that E3 event, they didn't show you a new Mario. They didn't show you a new 3D Mario at that E3 event. They just showed you about the gamepad controller and how you can take it take it off the television and stuff. That's what they showed you. At this event, yes, it was terrible. I will be the
Hey,
first
wait,
one
hey
to say,
Andrew, you playing Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat together, combined? What's going on?
What?
Sound like you playing like three fighters at once.
I don't know what.
He's like
I
that
don't know.
dude in the Matrix with all the TVs around him.
Yo,
And he's got a
you gotta
controller.
get to the bottom of the ball pit. And chuck
No.
the keys, man. I'm trying to. Turn his mic up here in the background.
Yeah.
But I'll get back to your statements about people were excited about So you think I play this? Let me ask you a question. All right. Do you think the Witch is going to be? I'm sorry, the Switch is going to be successful?
well, I do. And no,
And
it's not going to sell Wii numbers. I do think that it's going to sell more than 40 million worldwide at the end
why
of
is
the.
that?
It's just that this console, it has the killer apps at the beginning of its lifespan. That's the problem with the Wii U. You notice with the Wii was able to attract the casual market, and it also had the killer apps. It had Twilight Princess, it had Mario Galaxy, it had the killer apps at the beginning of the Wii, and it also had the stuff to attract the casuals. And that's what I believe the Switch has with 1-2 Switch, with ARMS, and then
Oh.
Zelda. That's the killer app.
You said arms.
But
And
believe
what?
it or not,
He
No,
said
I
no,
said
Nobody want to
casual.
sit there.
no.
Yo,
I
You said
said
100,
arms.
I said
100,
arms to
yeah.
attract the casuals.
Casuals, yeah.
Yes.
But
But
who?
yeah,
What casual? Hang on. What casual going to spend
A lot.
$300
A lot.
and go?
A
And
lot.
if you lose it, would they realize? Would they lose? If they lose that piece? Okay, just I got a perfect example.
actually
Apple
more than that.
between Apple and Android. When Android, your shit is cheaper because everybody makes Android. With
Nigga, are
Apple,
you still
you
talking about mobile apps? If you don't shut up with that shit.
But you know, but I'm telling you, if you break an iPhone, you break an iPhone or something, you got to take that to the Apple store.
Yeah.
Where on Android, you don't have to do that. You have third party people that can fix your shit.
Third party that'll kill you after they
you-
fix your phone. Yeah.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. Shit.
Right.
Yep.
But if what you do with something with that Switch, that shit is game over. So you talking about a casual? If I'm a dad. My son plays
Right.
casual. He wants that for Christmas. He got to go get a job at 10 years old. Because I'm not buying it. Because I know them Joy-Cons going to get lost. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I'm not
hey,
buying him a pro controller. Now, I'm a
I
hardcore
understand.
gamer. But you want me to spend $70 for a
80.
ripped off?
Yep.
Oh, 80 now? For a
80
ripped off
for a pro
PlayStation?
controller.
For a ripped off Xbox One controller? The fuck out of here.
You know what?
The play?
Andrew, I was
You're
going to say
complete
team.
white.
You said team everything, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now you said a game like ARMS will attract the casuals. All right. Now,
Yeah.
and listen, talking to a man that I have very low means, right? $300 for the console, $65 for the this game ARMS, then another with $80 for another Joy-Con controller.
Yep.
We talking about Danny $500, right?
Yeah.
Ain't no casual going out there spending $500.
You're right. You're right. And I don't like the pricing of it. And that's why, I didn't get it when many people were comparing this to the Wii situation. I don't think it's going to sell 100 million, but I do think it's going to sell over 30 million when it's all said and done because it has the killer apps.
Okay,
Such
I
as Zelda.
want to address. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on, I want to address the killer apps that you're talking about. And I will say
I
that
know
Zelda.
it's coming to the Wii U. I know it's
Fine.
coming to the
Okay.
Wii U. Yeah.
Fuck that. But what I'm saying, excuse my French. What I'm saying is that Zelda is an iconic franchise.
Yep.
But if you look at Nintendo's top selling exclusives, Zelda's not one
It's
of them.
clearly Mario. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Zelda's more towards the actually is more towards the not even the casual gamer, but more of the hardcore gamer type
Yep.
game. You know what I mean? Forget the art style. So I don't think Zelda would be it. If this thing and listen, I'm not saying that fuck that. I almost you know why I want the Wii. I'm sorry, the Switch to fail. And maybe you may feel different. You know why I want Nintendo? to sell 6 fucking consoles. You know why?
They're changed. They're finally go
Thank you.
back to what made them great again. I understand.
And I don't know why no one sees this, but we're not saying no, but that I can't go out there and keep supporting Nintendo
Yep.
in their wayward ways. Why can't they put fucking online features inside their games? You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
another thing, why I don't think the casuals and whoever's going to gravitate to this shit, because of their policies. First of all, okay, if you look at, I'm a YouTube called content creator, right?
Yep.
And still Nintendo does not allow their only you have to go through them, you know what I mean, and go through a whole, to
You have
have
to
their game.
partner through them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
you know what I
what the
mean?
hell is that?
Another
Yo,
reason,
who's watching soap
that's another
operas, man?
reason why this thing is not going to take off. Most gamers are twitching, live streaming, and Nintendo doesn't allow you to do any of that. So that's another fucking thing.
What
You know
is
what I mean?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but more than that though. What I'm saying is from you Nintendo guys, I'm saying you, but I'm just saying you pro Nintendo guys, you guys for the last 2.5 years have been begging for Nintendo to get with the times. That's all that I'm saying. You've been, when these rumor specs were coming out, it may be slightly under the slightly under the PS4 Pro, and it's going to have a better CPU than the PS4. It's going to do everything lock 60. You guys were talking about power and all this shit, and now when it comes out, this motherfucker's a dud. Now again, power doesn't matter. We don't give a fuck about third parties. It's all about Mario. This thing is not going to. We've seen this movie before.
If it
That's
don't
all
have
that I'm
if
saying.
You're
it doesn't
completely
have
right.
real third party support, the shit gonna
Does
be
it?
just like the Wii U.
Well,
And you
guys,
see
Yeah.
every developer ain't on board with the shit. I saw they posted all the motherfucking developers. They did that shit when the Wii U came out too.
guys,
And
I'm
who
My
gonna
got
hold
on
worry
on.
is
board?
this.
Yo,
My
guys,
worry is
guys,
this.
hold
They
on one
had.
second. I was just gonna say, let me just get ethereal with you guys just a little bit, a little gaming spirituality here. When new hardware comes out, guys, I want to know if you agree with me. The launch titles show where that hardware is going as well. So what you see from the Switch is you see Zelda, which a lot of people like, and it's almost a guarantee that if you get a Switch, you're looking for Zelda. And
Yep.
then you got all these fucking motion games after that. So where are they going to go with the future of the Switch? They're aiming more towards motion than anything else. And we're already past that. Yo, gamers are already past that. Even casuals are past that now because they have their cell phone and they're playing all these little free to plays and stuff like that on their cell phone. I think Nintendo, I think that what they're trying to grab is already gone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely, but I think with Zelda, clearly what they're trying to do is that they know that I believe that they launched this console a little bit too early, but they had to launch it now because investors were going to be mad because I believe their physical year ends in March, so that's why they're launching this console in March because they have to get something out there so that their balance sheet just doesn't look terrible on their earnings. So that's why I believe that this console is launching now. But to me, I would rather launch this console in the holiday season because then you would have Mario, you would have Zelda. That would be more appealing. But I just think that Nintendo's banking on Zelda carrying them. I don't know if it's going to happen, but currently, I believe somebody said that 2 million units are going to be available in March, and right
Worldwide.
now it's going to easily surpass that with just Zelda alone. So I don't know what's going to happen afterwards, but I know in April you have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I know it's a port, but it is Mario Kart, and Mario Kart usually sells. It sold almost 8 million on the Wii U, which out of like 12, 13 million install base, it sold 8. So that's a really high attachment rate.
Okay.
So
So
Yeah,
you gonna
Okay.
spend $60 on that shit again? Cause that's
No.
what they charging for these
Again,
games. That's what they charging for their games. $60. So you already bought it on one console. They're not giving you a discount like 40, 30. It's just a port. So you really spend
Okay.
$60. You thinking out of that $8 million installment base, you just say you think half it's gonna think half of them gonna buy that shit? No. They're gonna keep
no,
their Wii U and play on it.
of course not. But I'm just saying that game, people that didn't buy the Wii U are gonna get it because people are
Okay. All right.
interested in Zelda.
I
Okay.
put this way.
I
I'm
don't.
not paying
Let me.
$60 for a game for that system where that's not consumer friendly. You forgot at the end of the day, we consumers, we're not dumb. So if I can wait 6 months to get a game that I know I'm only gonna barely gonna play, I can wait.
Or 100. You can. I mean, look at it now. If you go buy a Wii U, they still 300. So
Thank
either
you.
you can spend 300 on the Switch or spend it on the Wii U. So
Let me
it's
ask you a
kind of a
question.
weird market.
Let me ask you a question, and maybe like I see you're kind of pro, but you don't. Okay, as a consumer first, right? Forget
Yeah.
your preference. As a consumer, and good faith, you feel okay with giving Nintendo your money on for a console that's weaker than what we've been doing for the last 3 years?
I'm not buying this console. I haven't even pre-ordered this console yet. So,
No, well, okay.
I,
Well, I'm just saying,
yeah,
I just feel comfortable with giving them your money for something that's extremely dated already, and this is what you're going to have for the next four. Let me tell you this: you keep talking about these killer apps, and this is for any company. You may, if you're lucky, you may get a four, five is pushing it. AAA exclusives of the year, right?
yeah,
Fact, okay. Every 3 to 4 months, right? Every, you know what I mean, because even when they can't just keep putting out because exclusive after school because they eat their own market up. You know what I mean? At this end of the day, so they had to give these
yeah.
titles enough time on on in the market by themselves. Okay, now what keeps the Xbox and the PlayStation afloat is that they have these AAA multiplats. You understand? Whether the Grand Theft Autos, the Divisions, the Destinies, they have all of that stuff to fill in the voids and the gaps, right?
Mm.
So again, even with the casual, if you so you're gonna say the casual, because I believe in my heart of hearts, the casuals are far past Mario. They're on Call of Duty, they're on Destiny, they're on those on 2K and Madden. Gone. You know that market there. That's where they're at. They don't care about so much. They're gonna probably buy. They may buy 3 or 4 games a year. Three, two if you're lucky. Duty and Madden or Duty and 2K or Grand
Earth
Theft
to
Auto.
Andrew. Are you awake,
That's
pal?
it. You know what I mean?
Andrew.
So what I'm saying is this then. So I just don't like I said today. I understand Zelda is a good game, but what is it going to take
Yes,
or
I
why?
am.
No,
Just
what does it
listening.
take? Why is it okay, or you Nintendo fans, is okay to not hold Nintendo's feet to the fire? Because it had this been Microsoft or Sony, like all hell would have broke loose. Why is this not okay? Why is it not the same backlash for Nintendo? That's why this was. I keep coming back to. Why is it
Nostalgia's a hell
okay
of a
for them?
drug, bro.
Um, could you imagine if Microsoft were releasing the Scorpio, right, or whatever the fuck, and instead of the Xbox going from one, is weaker than the standard PlayStation 4. Could you imagine the fucking
Mm.
backlash? So
Yeah.
my thing is why is it not the same thing for Nintendo? Like
Nintendo's like your grandma, man. Much as she yell at you, man, you still
See,
all right, grandma.
yo,
All
check
right,
this
I
out.
get it. You know what I mean?
Yo, all day, everybody on panel, check this out.
What?
Me and my boy Mooch, we were going in on media bias and stuff like that, right? And we would talk behind the scenes, and we were saying part of the problem is these journalists out there on IGN and GameSpot and stuff like that. They grew up on PlayStation, all right? So they're trying to help them out, knowing that they are in a rough spot. They don't want to destroy their memories and their childhood growing up and all this good stuff. But we're bringing that same mentality and we're bringing it over here to Nintendo within the consumers and the gamers right now, and that's a poison. That's something that's not good. That's
Right.
not going to push anything forward. You know what I'm saying? We need to hold them accountable for what happened with the Wii U. They promised third party support. That didn't come through. That dried up that system. All right. And if they don't come back with it on the Switch, which they're not going to do, I mean, I know they showed FIFA, but they didn't show any of the heavy hitters that everybody is actually playing right now. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's
The,
the same thing's going to happen, man.
One of the big things that I've been hearing a lot of journalists talk about and a lot of consumers talk about is being able to take your Nintendo library, the games you've bought digitally throughout the
yeah,
years on the Wii U, and have it migrate over to the Switch. Like everyone's concerned that they're going to lose all their purchases.
They
You're
I
not
are.
think
losing them.
They are probably.
that's crazy, bro. Like
They
they should
are
really have that link to your account.
because with the digital games on the Wii U, it attaches to your hardware. All right. And a lot of people got pissed off about all that, right? But they haven't come
Right.
back and said anything with this Switch. this Nin tablet. That's what I call it, guys. It's the Nin tablet. All right, and they haven't said anything different about that. We don't know. We don't know what's going on with that whole thing. Now, if it was
True.
something that was such a big, like fall, like a big drop when it came to the Wii U, where your digital games attached to your hardware, you would figure that at their presentation when they're talking about motion controls, you got a fucking camera in your little Donald Trump controllers and shit like that. They would say, "Oh yeah, and by the way, when you buy games digitally, they actually hook up to a gamer tag of some sort, and
Right.
it'll go with you." But they didn't say none of that shit. And nobody's calling them out on that either. It's like, well, where is that information? Like, no, you screwed us over with the Wii U. Now we want to know if you're really straightening your path.
So now when you buy the Switch, you got to rebuy all those games if you ever want to
You
play
would
them
have to
again.
buy.
That's
You would
crazy.
have to buy them all again.
That's my main worry. Especially
Yeah.
with the whole online service, how you're now gonna have to pay for it. They didn't really explain clearly what this service is really gonna feature. I know they said that you're gonna get a free trial like the first 4 months until fall, but they didn't explain like whether all games will support party chat or whatever. The same
No.
situation on the Wii U.
No.
I just feel
You gotta
I feel
download
like they
the
did it
pay.
just for next gen. They did it for
You
next
gotta
gen. They was
download
like,
and pay
man,
that.
this blacker guy, he keeps on talking about voice chat. Give him something. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And my thing, why? What about if you don't own a cell phone? Because a lot of people don't. They got that Obama phone. That shit can't do that shit.
That Obama phone.
They can't do that shit. They can't. How can you do that? Come on, you must be looking out for the masses. That's weird to me. But you got a lot of these PlayStation. I mean, not play, but these motherfucking Nintendo guys just swearing, God, this is the best thing since sliced bread. No, it's not. You hit this shit this long. Matter of fact, them specs that got leaked weeks ago, months and months ago, the motherfuckers was on deck. They was right on point.
Yo, when it comes to what you talk about with the Obama phone and stuff like that, which first off, that was funny as shit. But it really looks like Nintendo is like focused, like it's like there's a huge wall around Japan, and like the presentations and stuff from Nintendo come out, but they don't look out there. They don't look at the West. They're not looking at Europe. They're not looking at any other part of the world, and they stay focused on what the Japanese culture and the Japanese people are doing. Now, I don't think Japanese people have Obama phones and shit like that, so they didn't even think about that stuff. There's big holes and flaws in the production and the marketing of the Switch, and I'm not going to ignore it. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to show everybody what the hell's going on, and I can't believe kind of like some of this spin over here when it comes to this thing. Well, it's going to be great. People are jumping borders. They're going, well, the casuals are going to pick it up for this and that, but then they're saying, well, I don't really care because it's not going to be my main console. All right, well, the casuals have their cell phones and their tablets and everything like that. What's going to make them spend $300 and then another $70 for new controllers for multiplayer? What's going to make them invest so much money on the Switch when they're already getting their fix with the hardware that they already have? Because there's a lot of people that have cell phones and stuff like that, and that's usually where the casuals go now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
And, go. Go. Play something. Go. No, all right. Well, yeah, but anyway, the whole, I don't know. Like I said, I just find it funny and ironic that everyone now they all about handhelds. I've never seen anyone talking about the 3DS on their channel, talking about the Vita on their channel, or whatever the fuck. I just all I'm saying is this, and to come back to it, like how could, in good faith, keep supporting a company that refused to, get with the times just to fucking play Mario.
And just next gen, just like you say, all of us ain't into that fucking mega RPG shit and all this other shit. You dancing with kids and shit, all that. Sometimes we want some hardcore beat 'em ups. And Nintendo used to, like you say, back in the day, Nintendo used to get that shit to us. They don't get that shit to us no more.
Bo, let me ask you a serious question, life or death question right now.
Uh-huh.
Are you playing the game?
Yeah, why you can hear it? I ain't gonna
We,
lie.
we over here talking shit. Hey, my bad, Andrew. Man, this is nigga Bone in here playing the fucking game like he has one life to live and shit.
Well, they say I don't play no games, so I'm playing a motherfucking game. Shut the fuck up, Possum
No,
Face Killer.
no, we was talking shit about Andrew playing the game, and it's
Man,
you.
I didn't think it was that damn loud. Shit, man.
It's
Shit, I muted
you.
my motherfucking mic. Shit. You know what?
Yeah.
Can't don't
It
bring
sound
your
like it sound
don't
like
bring your ass back home.
no, you sound like you
Oh
tapped
shit.
on the controller.
All right, hold on. All right, I got a guy. I was trying to look for a die-hard, ride or die Nintendo guy to sell me, and why none of the things that we've been talking about for the last 3 years about power and resolution, which I think the resolution shit is bullshit. The power is important. Let's be honest here. It's one thing about the most power being a capable console. The
Mhm.
PS2 was wildly successful. Wasn't the most powerful, no, but it was a capable console. There's two different things. You didn't have whole genres of of games and series skipping that platform because it wasn't as powerful for to run it.
Yep.
That's again a major issue. Like I said, like you guys keep talking about Nintendo with these exclusives. Exclusives. This is not 1992. They don't hold the weight that they once did. If you look at I say this again, you look at the MPD, you see the same 10 multi-plats month after month. But it may chart that much, but it's not going to chart again the following month. You know what I mean? It's just that, this the way that the landscape of gaming, it has changed. You know what I mean? But maybe not so much because it's the first time I've been talking to you, Tim, everything. But what I'm just saying for the last 5.5 to 6 months, we've seen the Obi-Wan plays, the Dr. Trays, and
Yep.
all these other guys, been talking about Nintendo. They're going to do it this time. They're going to do it. They're going to give us a powerful, capable console. And then they come up with this, wah, 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 wah. Oh, man, did you
Well, I
see that
noticed.
Mario? I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you know
Well,
what
I
I mean? Like
noticed
that.
as a Nintendo fan that I think a lot of them are banking on this system selling, because let's be honest, if this system sells, it's going to get some sort of third-party games, and I think
It's going
they're
to get that regardless.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's what they're banking on. People like Obi-Wan, Dr. Trey. I think that's what they're banking on. And my question and why I worry is that if this system does not sell, right, it when the Scorpio, it when the PlayStation 4 Pro becomes the main attraction for Sony and Microsoft, like the main consoles on the market from them, is the Switch still going to get support when they migrate only to the Scorpio and only to the Pro? That's my worry. And
But did that happen to the Wii U? Because what the Wii U last
yeah,
really third party
yeah,
was that
yeah.
the Watchdog that we got earlier,
Hey,
everybody else
hey,
got it,
hey, little brother,
and it didn't break,
it's
and
not
it
letting
didn't,
you
it
play
didn't.
games now because it can't run them. It's weaker than the Xbox One and the PS4. It can't run the Division. It can't, you know what I mean? Look, look, can it run Unreal Engine 4? Yes. But what the difference you have Unreal Engine
Watered
4
down.
running, yeah, they're on the
It's gonna be
PS4 and
scaled
the
down.
Xbox One.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying those are world powerful consoles, but they're running that at high settings. The Switch is running at medium settings. You had a developer from Ubisoft that got canned, and that was crazy as hell. He came out and said for the record that there's no way that the Switch can run the same game. It doesn't have a higher memory bandwidth. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't. So again, it's like, come on, like it's not even a fucking T flop. This is 20 fucking 17. Like I just, regardless of what they had coming out, unless that thing was like $150, but whatever. I just can't see myself be continually
$150.
supporting Nintendo.
I would have no problem with that, Z. No problem.
I still couldn't do it. Know why?
Why?
Why do I have to pay? I don't have a problem paying for online. It's not my right. But I have to fucking download a smart pad, pay that for $5 or $10 to talk to
Yeah,
my
that that,
friend.
that 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 should be natively. No excuse for that, man.
That's what I
No excuse
can't.
for
Hang
that.
on, another thing y'all ain't talking about is where's the goddamn Ethernet port? Now, like I
Ain't
say, I
none.
game. I plug up my Xbox is plugged up to my modem.
Ain't none.
Where the
I think
fuck
there's
is the
gonna be an
Ethernet port?
adapter.
You gotta
Yeah,
buy it.
I think I heard about an adapter. Yeah,
You gotta buy a fucking adapter. What, man? Like you say, look at the
yeah,
cost. Because Wi-Fi is not good everywhere. I was just in
right.
Vegas in the desert. Trust me, that motherfucker ain't good at all. All the motherfucking kind of crazy shit going on in that motherfucker. Come on, Wi-Fi is not that is good. I don't care. I heard it's gonna be AC. I don't give a fuck. It was AC, DC, EF, GFB.
But at the
It can
same time,
fuck up.
but at the
Yeah,
same time, you got to think about it. The,
there
the
should
games
be
that
an
you will be
Ethernet
playing on
port.
the Wii is not going to be taking up that much, bandwidth as Call of Duties and the
So
Battlefields.
what
You know
about
what I'm
Street
saying?
Fighter? I heard Street Fighter 2. the remix of the remix of the remix.
The remix.
I want to play that motherfucker. I
That's
want
a
to play that
Super
shit.
Nintendo game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I want to play a remix of the remix of the remix, but I
Yeah, we
have to
bought that
pay.
8 years ago.
So I want to play online for the first time with it. I'm say I'm in Vegas and whoopty whoop, and I'm having fun, and I'm taking a break from the motherfucking casino and shit, and it don't have no good. I'm using Wi-Fi, but say I'm in a hotel, I can go hook it up to the dock and get down with it. It ain't happening because I have to buy an Ethernet port. Look at all you already charging me $300 for a handheld with a dock.
Yo,
Like motherfuckers was complaining about Xbox and playing extra for the fucking Kinect. Get the fuck out of here! I rather pay for the Kinect to pay for that bullshit, that dock.
Yo, guys, another thing about third-party support, a little birdie told me within the industry here that when it comes to these cartridges, devs are actually eating some of the cost of these cartridges, which will lead them because they're paying more to be on this platform. All right, if they're eating the cost of building these cartridges as well, Nintendo's not eating that cost. So with that being said, with devs having to put up more money to develop on the Switch than say, the PS4 or the Xbox One or anything like that, that's actually a deterrent right there. That's actually something to say, you know what, I might not want to put my multi-plat on this thing, even if it can run, because I'm going to eat some of the cost of building that cartridge for the Switch as well, man.
And people talking about that Skyrim shit. You can play Skyrim on the fly. So damn what? Everybody don't play Skyrim. You know what I'm saying? Skyrim is a good game, but damn, I don't think about it is I got that when I'm playing Skyrim, I must be on a train, on a bus.
I mean,
I'm not playing Skyrim at work. I'm not.
That's a game for the 360. I would even to me that should even be a seller point. But hold on, I got Grim Poching here. I pronounced your name right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Now I'm asking you first question. I was looking for some Dr. Tree type jokers.
Hey, get the troll out of here, man.
But are you a fan of the Nintendo Switch? And this is the day one, and if so, why?
It's not day one for the simple fact it's just not enough games at launch. But when Mario comes out, then there'll be enough that'll be out. But I'm getting the Switch though.
Okay, now why is that?
Why am I getting the Switch?
Yeah.
Man, I like Nintendo's games. Like I said in the chat, I just bought 3 Nintendo games today. I still like Nintendo. So Zelda would definitely be a purchase. Mario, I never played Splatoon.
I'm sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. First of all, where you from?
I'm from Earth.
I'm just saying, like,
he got a YouTube. He good. No, he got a YouTube. He got YouTube channel and everything.
One hundred know me. No.
Yeah, I know.
No, bro, I just wanted to ask you.
Well, as you know,
I'm not asking
there are weirdos around here. I'm not saying y'all weirdos, but someone listening in might hear me. Want to find me.
Okay.
Were you from the south, east, west?
You said you just bought.
Yeah. That's
right.
What you say now?
You said you just bought 3 Nintendo games today.
Yep.
The reason why I was asking where you're from because I got an Amber Alert to my phone. Now all jokes aside. Listen, you may be a Nintendo fan. Cool. I don't know how old you are. Doesn't even matter. Okay. Maybe you might still like the art direction, might like the games. All right. But you have what I keep coming back to this, right? Is that you're fine with giving them your money, Nintendo, or you're fine with them releasing a console, right? See, this is what it is, a console. In 2017, that's weaker than shit that came out in 2013. You're fine with that.
Oh yeah, that's not a problem.
No,
just the only problem I had with the Wii U was the droughts. As long as the Switch ain't got droughts, which I really won't know until time will tell. That's the only problem I had.
Well, you can kind of tell right now because if they come out with the Mario and the Zelda and do the Mario Kart right now, what do they got left for next year? Like, I mean, possibly a Metroid, which would be thick. You know what I'm saying? But after
they announced No More Heroes 3. And if they bring something like that back, I'm potentially Mad World's coming back. I don't know. We don't know what's coming.
But you thinking? I heard No More Heroes 3 might be a multi-plat. Heard a lot of things that they show. That Sonic game is a multi-plat.
Oh, that Sonic's always been a multi. Now, if No More Heroes 3 is a multi-plat, that may still not be a big deal because you gotta remember No More Heroes use the Wii remotes, right?
Yeah.
If it comes to other machines, they may just use the normal controller. So I still will have a reason to play it on the Switch. I have a different way to play the game.
So you can play the game jacking off, cause that's what the shit is looking with no hair. Usually, you just have to sit
No,
there. Come
I
on.
mean, if you ever played No More Heroes, you actually do that in the game.
Yeah, jacking off. Yeah, like
No,
we said, we already got people
that's
milking.
that ain't even a joke. I'm dead serious. That's not a lie.
Yeah.
Like when you play No More Heroes, you have a lightsaber, and when you want to charge it up, you gotta jerk it off.
I get it. I remember my
Hey, Zaire, before you say anything, man, if someone said they saw you and dressed up in drag pre-ordering the two Wii U.
I was trying to Laura's grandmother out of the store. Like, you know what I mean? Let's take out attention.
I mean, we all know Zaire is getting the Switch.
No. Listen. Okay, listen. I'm gonna tell you something. Real shit. I got this saying. I'm a faggot that loves gadgets, right? But I have to draw a line in the sand.
You racist.
Okay. Because I same thing with the Wii U. I bought that day one. Got videos, everything. But when I saw the E3, and I don't trade in anything. I don't. I got everything until I had a fire. But I
nigga traded in his soul. You lying?
Yeah, but it couldn't justify me
To the
owning
aliens.
a $350 console just to play Bayonetta. Now, I don't really care for the art style of the games. Cool. But may I ask you this question, Prince Patrick, okay? We know what's been going on. This whole generation has been about power, whether you agree with it or not. Am I right? Right or wrong?
That's for y'all to talk about, not the average person. The average person, I don't think cares.
I didn't ask you whether you agree with it, but you know what has been going on for the last 2 years.
No. What I'm explaining is in YouTube space. Sure.
Okay.
The average person,
Fine.
I can't say that.
Okay. But it's sprinkled over to the casuals inside the GameStops. It was perceived that the PS4 had the better version of the multiplex. That's not even up for whether it's not a big deal to me. I'm not talking about graphics.
I used to work at GameStop, man. I know that for a fact.
Okay, what's fine? So what I'm saying is this, right?
You got fired for stealing boxes.
Could you imagine if Microsoft or Sony put out a console that's weaker, a next generation console that's weaker than hardware from 3 years prior?
Hey, next gen, get rid of Zach Kelly, bro. You talking about people's dead grandmoms and shit, bro. Get him out of here.
What else is that?
That chat too fast. I can't read that shit.
I'm way the fuck down. Hold on one second.
Yo, see, at some point in time, if you can make me a moderator, that'd be cool.
But so my question, in good faith, how can we keep giving Nintendo our money or whatever, or keep supporting them when they refuse just to get with the time? Now, mind you, you may not, maybe you may one of the guys that say that power is everything, graphics fun, but you do need power to bring these games to bigger and better worlds. You know what I mean, whether you're a graphics guy or not, okay? But like for them just to, how can we keep supporting a company that refuse to just give us the basic shit? Like even I gotta download a paid app to have to talk to my friends. Like, come on, man. Like at what time do we draw a line in the sand? Like, that's it, Nintendo. Get your shit together. Like, no.
I feel you on some of the features because I would love for Nintendo to come out and say, hey man, the games you bought on your Wii U and your 3DS, if we put them on there like some of the Super Nintendo games or whatever, you just have them. You don't have to pay for them again. I would like for them to do that. Kind of like with Xbox.
I'm not talking backwards, bro. I'm just talking about voice chat in their games. I've been doing that since 2002.
I mean, they got voice chat, don't they?
No, ain't no voice chat. You gotta pay a paid app.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get the app. You gotta get the app.
Yeah, it's a paid app.
On
A paid app.
Now, let me ask y'all some real shit.
Yes.
Because I've been searching all the time because you were the first person I heard say that shit. Okay. Where did they say it was a paid app? I know it's an app. Where is it? You gotta pay for the app. Then you gotta pay for the service for the app.
Bring that up real quick.
Yeah, because I can find that. I know you gotta pay.
I think it's a DualShock or Eurogamer. Hold on, let me go dumpster diving.
Nah, you got that from the
Nintendo website themselves barely got any information on it, so I can't. I don't know where it's coming from.
My Nintendo News or Eurogamer. Give me a second.
All right, yo.
I will find the app for you. But even let's say the app's 99 cents.
Oh, let's just say it's free.
What if you don't have a smartphone? What if you like crap weirdo ass and got a goddamn Windows 10 phone?
I got Windows phone, man. Shit, chill with that.
I mean, we could play the what if game all day. You may not have a smartphone, but this is the thing we don't know though. What if the Switch is a smart device? I don't know that. It could be.
Then why would you have to download an app on
No,
a
no, no, no.
device?
No, you didn't. Hang on. You do have for parent control and all that. They did show that you need a app. You have need iOS.
Do you need an app, or they were just saying there
you
is
know.
an app?
They said it's you need the app to set for your parental controls. It had iOS and Android, and it
Like I
showed
said,
that.
like
And
I
I
said,
heard the OS is built off of Android. What
like
they
I said,
using?
that's why I'm saying. Like I know there's an app, but I'm just saying to make sure everything.
I didn't say it was paid. I knew that
got
to
it
set
right
the
here.
parental. To set the parental stuff, you need they add a video. They showing you the
Yeah,
app from
I
your
saw
phone.
that. I saw that video.
I got the
What
article right here.
what I'm saying is like, do they have the app plus it's on the console itself for parental controls, or you
No,
need the app?
no, we heard this. No, you need the app, and your Android phone got your iOS got parent control on it. Come on, we
says
messing.
here, voice chat on the Switch will consist of a paid app on the smart device, previous to your phone. Clarification on a mission that was just found out, so I believe it deserves a new thread. Online lobby and voice chat. Our new dedicated smart device app will connect to Nintendo Switch and let you invite friends to play online, set play appointments, chat friends during online matches and compatible games for your smart device. A free limited version of this app will be available.
Hey, why the fuck would I want to? So I'm playing on the go.
Wait. Time out. This is the confusing part, because remember, you can use their online service for free, right? There's a free version of the online service, right? Which I'm assuming
somebody connected with that.
which needs the app, right? It needs the app, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you download the free app, right? So my question is,
It's only limited.
when you want to, I know that's for the limited service. It's just like let's just say it's equivalent to silver, gold. It's not gold membership. It's a silver membership.
This is what
Let's
they're
just say.
saying. They're saying is that it's free. Everything's free up until fall. After fall, that's when our prices of the online, whatever they're gonna charge us, $60 a year, $50, and you have to pay for that. This is what he means.
What I think it is, I think that would be included with your subscription, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the app, when you pay for the subscription, the app, you have the app. I don't think they will make you pay for the app. Like if they do, that doesn't sound far fetched. Nintendo do some funky shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Nintendo, I don't think anybody got the balls to say, hey, you're gonna have to pay for a pace. Like that's like saying I want to pay for Pandora, but you made me pay for the Pandora app plus I gotta pay for the service. That sounds dark.
I read it again for you.
But hold on. Before you read that,
Consists of a paid app on smart devices, your phone.
No, we get what you're reading, but what we're saying is the people that wrote it may not know what they're talking, because people write stuff in funky ways all the way. This on
www.nintendo.com/switch/online services. This is from Nintendo.
but look, my problem is I'm a gaming on the go, right? I'm chilling, playing Zelda or whatever. My phone's in my pocket, chilling, right? So you mean to tell me both of these motherfuckers about to die in an hour? Oh hell.
Yeah. But think about it. Only thing I give the credit to the Switch is if you have an outlet it's using USB-C, the shit is gonna charge within 15 minutes, fully charged.
Yeah.
15 minutes. So that 3 hour shit don't bother me at all. Get your outlet and go sit at the coffee shop for 3 hours.
The battery life thing, I understand the complaints because I have a Vita and a 3DS, and the Vita dies within damn near 3 hours depending on what game you're playing. So and to be fair, I'm not gonna take my Switch on the go. I don't take none of my handhelds on the go. I use them around the house or whatever.
I needed a handheld on the go.
That nigga be gaming in the side on the corner on the ceiling and shit. God damn.
I'm not. If I take it on the go, it'd be like on a road trip on a flight, but that's rare. I'm not taking it like to a nigga house. That's not happening.
I mean, I ain't who goes to the house. I ain't taking no game system. You better have a game system. I don't play Madden against the home. You better see me at. I got a homie live around the corner playing Madden online.
Next gen. I don't know if you want to make me a moderator or something, but this dude Zach gotta go. Zach gotta go.
Hold on, I'm on my cell phone. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
What he said? Oh, who the hell is that?
Yo, he said your mama dead though, and he started laughing and shit like that. So it's done.
Hey, real gamer in the chat, get his fucking ass in here.
Listen, I just text that motherfucking Ernie and Bird ass nigga and asked him to bring his duck sauce ass here and defend the Switch, because I need to know, man. Like, I meant the reason why
send him the link.
This is the first time I'm speaking to you. I've seen these pro Nintendo channels. Okay, not saying you did it, but these pro Nintendo channels, were saying that Nintendo, they're going to bring the power, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. They didn't bring it, right? They're still not going to get the big AAA games like they were begging Nintendo to get. Still shitty suspect online, right? Now it doesn't matter. Again, Mario, woohoo, and Zelda. So my thing is with anything. I'm not saying any company is perfect. I've been critical of Microsoft, Sony, and I'm damn sure I've been critical of all. I'm a consumer first before anything. My question is to you, and I hope people get in here. Basically, what I wanted to ask you: why do people continue to handle Nintendo with white gloves and not hold them to the same standards as Microsoft and Sony? Okay, do you agree with the power conversation? Not you and I both know damn well and good if Microsoft or Sony were to release a ninth generation console or whatever the fuck, and is weaker than an eighth generation console. What the well, I'm not buying. Even if, I know you, I'm not buying that shit. It's weaker than but I'm fucking about it. It's weaker than the shit I got right now. You know what I mean? So as gamers, well, do you agree with the power conversation? The reason why we buy new consoles because they're more powerful than what we previously had or we can buy.
Is that the case, Zaire?
Better graphics, huh?
Is that the? I thought I buy new consoles because they got new games. I don't know. The power and shit.
On what? Like, on previous generations.
No, that's
right?
always the case because check this out. You know how many games came the next generation, like your Mortal Kombat, your Metal Gear, all these games. They can play on the old machine. The question is that they want to make it for the new machine. They can play on the 360.
You can't. Metal.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Metal Gear Solid 5 is on 360. Full.
What?
The whole game, Metal Gear Solid 5 is on 360.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
These machines that we got right, yes, PS4 and PS5 really ain't more powerful than the PS3 and 360.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It did. Oh, okay, but okay.
Hold on. So, with everything that's added to Metal Gear Solid when it comes to playing on the Xbox One and the PS4, just because it's completely watered down.
The only difference is visuals. The resolution.
I have a developer on my panel. Do you know how much memory visuals go in? Like how much memory?
But that's what I'm saying. The only difference is the resolution. And I think maybe I don't know if it's 60 frames on both. It may be 30 on last gen. But the point I'm trying to make is that game can be played and made on the old machine.
Okay, it's a better looking version of the game. It's more shinier. Fine. I've always said this, Grandpachi, that cross-gen developing has killed this generation. You know, with all them. You know what I mean? Normally, when a new console come out, that's it for the previous generation. But we're talking about at the time we were talking about 160 million or 170 million installed between the PS3 and 360. I get that, and you're absolutely right. Cool. But what I'm saying is this. But what about games that can't run on previous gen or whatever the case?
But that's the question, though.
But you know what?
We don't know. We really don't know what can run on last gen. Just because they say, hey, we ain't putting it on last gen, don't mean it can't run on last gen. If you look at Black Ops 3 on last gen, and you look at Black Ops 3 on this gen, right?
Black Ops 3?
To say that Black Ops 3 could have been a full experience on last gen is ridiculous. They purposely made the last gen version trash. There's no way around it, because how does Black Ops 3 look worse than Black Ops 2? That doesn't even make sense.
Maybe they, bro. Again,
all day eating again, man.
Yeah, possum face killer.
No, I ain't.
Maybe you may be the last of a dying breed, but most gamers buy new consoles.
Who the fuck is playing?
Even better. What's the reason why you play on a high definition TV? For the game to look better, right?
What's the reason I play on a high definition TV?
For the game to look better, right?
Yeah.
For the game to look better, right? You're not still playing on channel 3.
But I also play on a standard definition TV, so my game will look better too.
Huh?
I play on a standard definition TV, so my game will look better too.
What?
I don't. What you saying? So you're saying graphics are not important? You don't like? That's like saying no one likes. You know, I mean, you know what? That bitch ugly, but she got a beautiful brain. You mean, listen, bro. We judge games about what we see. We don't think about games.
But I didn't say the old games look ugly though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But to say that graphics or pretty games are not important, and again, fine, maybe that's true. And I'm not judging you for that. Nobody say something that would say weird shit sometimes too. My thing is this again. Could you imagine the public backlash for what I'm saying is if Microsoft or Sony were to release a console That's going to be on the market for at least 5 years from now. It's 2017. You're going to have that Switch until 2021. All right, so at least in 2021. You know how dated that shit's going to look from 2 years. It's already dated now.
End of the year.
But that's the thing I don't understand. We talking about power and all that, right? The systems we have now are all dated. Now, when the Scorpio comes out and stuff like that, we may, that may be up to snuff. But the Xbox One and PS4 are dated. Yes. They were dated when they launched. But, exactly. But the thing I'm saying is, if you really cared about power and stuff, then you would get some updated hardware, which means you would probably game on a rig. You wouldn't game on a console. If that's really what matters.
You're wrong. You're yes and you're wrong. The reason why, again, people choose to play on console for simplicity. So you're willing to sacrifice for simplicity. No, let me finish. The better graphics. Okay, go ahead. Again, console gamers play on consoles for the simplicity of it. Plug and play. When you put your game in, it's guaranteed to work. Prime example. Not all the time. When I put my first rig, my buy power, very shitty company, right? I took advantage of one of those Steam sales, got about 60 games for fucking $15. Went to boot up for prime example, Dirt 3. Right? Dirt 3. And my first rig, I got a Titan, then got 32 gigs of RAM, i7, whatever was the top notch back in 2013, around February, March. Whatever was the top dog back then. And my game kept booting up and crashing. Steam doesn't have a customer service number.
I feel you. I do Google. That shit fucked up on there. But what I'm saying to you.
Okay, so again, what console gamers, will they buy new consoles? What you know what I mean? And you can say most people don't know anything about PC gaming and all that shit. Okay, we're talking about the average Joe Schmo here.
No, I agree with you.
When they buy a console or it's because guess what? That motherfucker, that Madden look real as hell. So that new Madden, that new PlayStation 4, that new 2K. It look real as hell, so we buy games because they look better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And normally, when you get a new console, some games, I said this generation, they didn't come out on last year. You know what I mean?
Do you play games for fun or to look at?
No, what I'm saying is this is Zaire is like, if Zaire likes graphics, right, but he also likes simplicity. That's why
so we got real gamer here. Hit him. I'm sorry.
He's about a minute too.
So what I'm saying is this, right? If you really care about graphics, but you also care about the simplicity, you have to ask yourself, well, what do you want? Which would you rather have, simplicity or better graphics? If you want better graphics, then you go to a computer. If you care about the simplicity more,
so it's wrong for me to want better graphics and not play on and not play on console.
No, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, if you want better graphics,
I don't have any urge.
They already exist for you. Instead of waiting for a Scorpio or potential of a Pro.
But I put this way. I put this way with this PC shit. I'm a PC guy. Fuck with this shit every day. I put this way. I look at Windows for goddamn, we'll say 8 to 10 hours a day. I don't want to look at that shit no more. I don't want to sit there and double click and bootload nothing. I just want to come in my room, cut on the machine, and just play. Yeah, I know I can get better graphics. I can run at fucking 28 million frames per second. I understand all that shit. But I don't need all that. Because as long as the game is I can play and it looks good on my TV and everything, I have no problem with it. But and people like to throw the PC. The PC needs, if you want to roll, you could run on. Matter of fact, like, man, I know a lot of people that said Crisis is one of the high demanding motherfucking games ever. But I like the Crisis on a motherfucking console also.
And fuck that, Crisis just sucks.
I love Crisis. Man, hang on. No, so you can't talk about Crisis, man. Crisis is my shit.
Look, but Zaire, you brought that point up too. That's a great example. People love graphics and all that. People love graphics. People love graphics and shit.
Hold on. I gotta turn your mic up. I don't know what the fuck you want it. You want a PC or what are you doing or something?
He got that can with the string in it, man.
Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me now?
Yeah, hey, what's like you in the closet in Target ripping up boxes and shit? What's going on, bro?
No, what I'm saying is like if you look at a game like Crisis, right?
All right.
I brought this up too. That's a game that looks great, but a lot of people don't like the game. That's what I'm going back to with the shit about the power and all that. Power is nice. I like a nice looking game. Don't get it twisted. But listen, if the game sucks, well, that shit don't matter to me. If the game is not good, then it's the power. It's nice to look at, but it's irrelevant to play.
What are you saying though? Everything that Nintendo makes is a fucking Okay, you know what?
To me, I cannot think of the last bad Nintendo game I played.
Oh, hang on, are you serious?
Wonderful 101.
Okay, so
I like
you
Wonderful
play. So no, Wonderful 101.
The Wonderful 101 was Platinum Games.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
It was a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
It was a Nintendo game. It
Man,
was
that shit don't make it good. The fuck?
Man,
Hold
but
on,
I put
can
it this
just
way.
say- Yo, hold on.
I
hold
put
on.
it this way. The last Zelda I ever beat was Ocarina of Time. I was into that shit.
Man, you old
After
as
that,
fuck.
hell yeah, man, shit, man, I've been ganging with cataracts.
Okay.
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 Yo,
Well, you know what? Hold on. Yeah,
My
go.
bad. Yo, Grandpa.
No, let's go. I wanted to get Real Gamer here, and you can ask him a question. You can take over. Let me ask Real Gamer the question, and you can ask him. You can respond to him. You there, Real Gamer? You there?
I'm just listening to y'all.
Mr. Johnson.
I'm listening to y'all.
Hey, listen, you dildo head motherfucker. You there? Now listen.
I'm here.
All right, check it out. Now, what brought me to your channel? Story. What brought me to your channel? I said this guy's a Nintendo guy. It seems like he's an old school.
Not necessarily, man. I play everything. I play everything.
Whatever. No, but nigga, you've been out there fanboying for that Switch, man. I understand you like me. You own everything, but I met you on the Nintendo tip. Fine. I have a PlayStation 4, but will I be considered a PlayStation 4 guy? I will be considered an Xbox guy. You're a Nintendo guy. It is what it is, okay?
No, I'm a Sega guy. I'm a Sega guy. I'm a Sega guy.
You ain't getting a console from them anytime soon.
But anyway, what I'm saying, what brought me to your channel or your stuff on your channel, Real Gamer 2727. All right, you were asking for the things that I was asking for from Nintendo. You know, get with the times. Can we have a capable console? Can we have online voice chat with achievements? You said this in your videos.
I just said
I'm not gonna pull a black bond and put the shit up on the screen on you and expose. I ain't gonna do all that shit. I don't like. I ain't gonna do that shit to you. You know what I mean? Nintendo, like I said, you Switch guys. I mean, you Nintendo Wii U guys been quiet as hell for 3 years. You've been out there motherfucking praying, holding hands. We shall overcome. Switch get announced. 1, 2, 3 Switch. You motherfuckers out there peacocking. Now,
I don't know what you talking about.
Y'all about shit. So the console gets shown, okay? Yeah. And the thing that you've been asking for you, that you want Nintendo to bring, they're not giving to you again. And you're fine with giving your money?
Huh? What are you talking about? Multi-platform Nintendo games. I love Nintendo games. I play multi-platform on Xbox and PlayStation.
Listen, you wasn't asking for big multi-platform on the Wii on the Switch.
Why would I would have multi-platform on the Switch?
Wait. What's wrong with having AAA multi-plats on the Nintendo platform?
No, I said this during my stream a while ago before you text me. I don't mind having multi-plats.
That's what you said today, nigga. I'm talking about what you were talking about 6 months ago.
What?
I'm talking about what you were talking about 6 months ago.
Yeah, for the Nintendo fans. That's what I'm saying. The people that only owns Nintendo have multi-plats for them. But as far as me, I'm gonna stick on my Xbox One because I got what, about 20-some thousand achievements. Why do I need that? To start over on the inferior multi-plat on the Switch.
Okay, again, why does it have to be inferior? But that's Nintendo's fault. But again, I'll come back to that.
The online is inferior, and we know the graphics is going to be inferior. We already know that.
Okay, we know that now. Well, I do that anyway. We know that now. But before everything came out, you wanted a more powerful Nintendo console that can compete with the competition. Am I right? Am I wrong?
No, I would love for Nintendo to have the best of the best, but at the same time, if they try to put all that latest tech and all that in their system and have 4K, you know how much shit that's going to cost? That's going to cost a lot of money. You will ask for 1080p on the screen.
How much is the PS4 Pro? $400?
Yeah, it's $400.
Okay, it's not a lot of money, right?
Pro had the same tech, like the Joy-Cons and all the NFC chip.
Again, no one asked for a Joy-Con. No one asked for any of that shit there. Okay, that's another gimmick that no one asked me.
PSVR? Who asked for PS4? Did anybody ask for the PSVR?
Hey, that Joy-Con got a lot of tech going on with it.
Okay, but no one asked. Listen,
Yo, Zaya, you could tell how much ice is in your cup.
Bro, again.
No, you can milk a cow. When I saw that milk a cow shit, I was done.
Yo, I'm be honest, yo. I said Nintendo, you're losing it with this milk a cow shit.
No, don't get me wrong. No,
they're trying to market the haptic feedback.
No, before I joined the streams, I was basically criticizing their presentation. I don't just because I'm excited for the system doesn't mean that I wasn't excited for the presentation because it was very lackluster. But as far as the games, I'm hyped for that new Mario game. I love Zelda. I've been saying this for a long time. The people that follows me, Zelda is the best franchise ever. I love Zelda. That's why
I get that. You can get Zelda on Wii U. Okay, I can get that. Hey, bro, I get that.
It's just like people.
Let me say this last thing. I want Xbox to hop in. Let me say this last thing to you. I'm just saying I've seen your videos in the past. That's all that I'm saying. And you were asking for the same things that I'm asking for Nintendo. Get with the times, basically. You know, I'm not going to, we're paraphrasing here. Achievements, essentially that online chat and all those things that you were asking for, right?
Yeah.
Nintendo still doesn't give it to you. And even more on top of that, they're putting out a console in 2017 that's weaker than shit that came out in 2013. How, in good faith as a consumer, how can we support that type of shit there?
Okay. Let me put this there. Nintendo Switch is the only console that is future proof. You know why? You can always get a up-to-date tablet. You can put in the dock. We can keep the dock. We can keep our Joy-Cons. We don't have to spend extra money. It's future proof of VR.
The dock's only an accessory, though, man. The console is the fucking tablet, though. So you have to get a new console. That's how you stay up to date.
You're telling me if Nintendo does not come out with another tablet that's the same shape as the one that we're about to have, but put more tech in there, better processing power, you tell me we cannot use
talk about Nintendo, nigga.
Hey, real. Hang on, but on some real shit. So you're gonna pay an extra another $300 for some shit?
But we don't know about it.
If it's a new console, yeah.
But if we don't know, but we don't know about it. You can't say if we don't know about it, we can't say it's future proof. We don't know that yet. And Nintendo ain't came out. Nintendo,
ladies and gentlemen,
you can't say this shit
to another level.
Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say that it's future proof where Nintendo ain't said. We can't speak up on another company that ain't said it for themselves.
I'm just saying it has a potential.
Hang on, potential was a motherfucker. Potential sells all day. Potential can sell all day, but at the end of the day, it's a potential. It's potential that can do that. How do you think about it? I'm gonna put it this way: if you upgrade tech-wise that tablet, you better upgrade that dock because that dock ain't gonna be power enough to handle that.
Well, no, see the dock. Hold on. No, the dock is just an accessory. All right, let's just get this straight. It's an accessory that lets you play the Nintendo tablet on your TV. So, real, when you say you can go out and get a new tablet at some point in time, you're saying you don't know.
I can't tell you about something I don't know. That's up to Nintendo to let us know.
But it's speculation, man.
But
nigga.
So basically, what you're saying is like they got the new 3DS. They're gonna make a new Switch one day. Someday.
They could, yeah.
They could. I mean, they could.
They just did it with. Look at the Wii U, and then look at this.
There's a lot of stuff we don't know about. That's why.
They just gave all the specs out. Everything was on point.
We don't know.
I ain't talking about specs. Don't worry about the wrong things. I'm talking about everything we need to know with the online, with everything.
Online, you gotta pay. Now you gotta pay for the online, and you need an app.
How much is it? We don't know.
It's gonna be trust me, it's gonna be between $50.
How can I trust
you? What?
It's gonna be $50.
What the online service? What the online service?
Why would they
50
do
cent
that?
a year. It's 50 cent a year. Online service, 50 cent a year. You buying it?
50 cent. Oh, at 50 cent a year, that's cool. I mean, you fucked up. You didn't bottom off the market now.
All right, check this out. When it comes to Real and Grimpachi, I got a question. Grimpachi, more so because like he is a Nintendo dude, and I could see his.
I can guarantee I play more Xbox than y'all guys. I guarantee you.
Hold on. But check this out, check what I play. Do you want Nintendo? Hold on. Do you want Nintendo to succeed? Do you guys want Nintendo?
Do I want Nintendo? Look, one thing you gotta understand is I like everything.
Yes
right?
or no.
Do I want them to succeed? What do you mean? Well, you gotta explain what do you mean?
You want them to succeed. You want them to have a successful console. I say that loosely.
So are you saying do I want them to make money so they can keep making stuff? Basically.
Yeah.
Of course. All right.
Now check this out. It's just a yes or no question. Now check this out. Now, in order to succeed, you have to grab the casual market, right? Am I right? That is the biggest group.
Not necessarily the case.
That is the biggest group out there.
That's not necessarily the case.
All right, look at the Wii. Look at what happened when it grabbed the casual and even the non-gamer market. Look what happened with the Wii. The Wii sold a shit ton. They were able to move forward into what they thought with the Wii U. Now, you have to grab the casual market. I'm wondering with the Switch, knowing that the casual market now has all these games on their cell phone and stuff like that. What is going to make the casual market, not you guys with multiple consoles that like everything, but the casual market, what is going to make them spend $300+ on the Switch?
The games. That would be the only reason. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of. The games that they have to offer, like Zelda, Mario, Arms.
But with Nintendo going into iOS and everything like that, and having a Mario, it might not be that Mario in New York City, but having a Mario on the iOS on hardware that they already own, what's going to make them spend $300 on new hardware?
By that logic, you should have said that a long time ago, because ever since iOS and Android have been on the market, you could put emulators on your phone for the longest of years. So by that logic, you could say, well, what made them buy the Wii? The Wii U, anything, because you can play Mario.
The Wii was flash in the pan, yo. It was lightning in a bottle. A lot of grandparents were like, yo, when the grandkids,
what about 3DS?
We want them moving around and stuff like that.
Okay. What about the handhelds? Has the handhelds been lightning in the bottle for over 25 years? You asked me that. Answer that question.
But see, think about it. It's the 3DS is the only thing that's out there.
Okay,
it fucked over Sony. It's not like it's not. Think about it. They own that market. I give Nintendo that. They own that market.
Okay, is the Switch catered for the PlayStation dudes, Xbox dudes, or the 3DS dudes?
It's made for Nintendo guys. Because I'm gonna put it this way, it's made for Nintendo guys. But everybody, I put this way is, how'd you feel? You gotta repurchase something. Like you say, man. Like you say your wife plays Platoon. You gonna go buy Platoon again for $60? Platoon 1.5 again for $60?
If it has better online service, then yes.
So you're gonna put more money in their pocket, but you already paid for that shit on your Wii U.
It's a sequel. If you bought Halo 5,
that's not a real sequel. That's 1.5. They add some characters.
That's like
they add characters.
I mean, to be honest though, that's like saying like people buy Call of Duty every year. And basically,
I don't buy Call of Duty
I'm just saying there's millions of people that buy Call of Duty every year, and basically each Call of Duty ain't nothing but a 1.5 of the last Call of Duty. Ain't
you're right about that too. I don't buy Call of Duty every year.
Y'all act like y'all don't buy remasters. That's gonna start that mess. Y'all buy remasters all.
What you mean by? I'll put it this way: if I buy a remaster, it ain't for $60. Halo 5 the collection wasn't for $60. I can tell you that. The shit was $40.
A real gamer. You said that Nintendo's market or whatever the case or whatever, the 3DS market. No one bought the 3DS at $250, and this is not a console. This is their console. But you got to stop saying handheld.
I had a bad one.
I can explain why people didn't buy the 3DS for $250. Because number one, no, it wasn't just that. When it came out,
like a game,
it didn't have no real games.
Yeah, Street Fighter.
It didn't. It was a bad launch, bro.
Those games did not apply. Those games, no, it didn't.
Did it have a Mario game?
No. It had Street Fighter. It had, but those are games that didn't really appeal to the Nintendo. Because to be honest, the 3DS is for the Nintendo audience. It ain't for the average. It's for people who really like Nintendo shit.
Well listen,
audience like JRPGs, Monster Hunter. Those are the games that cater towards the audience.
When was the last time you seen someone in the street playing their games on their iPad?
I can't name the last time I seen someone playing any iPad. It was children like in the stores. Like you walk in the store, you may see a kid with an iPad.
So, but what you still, I guess, moving the goalposts, because even what I'm saying, and my man Bob put up some good points. I'm just saying to you, real gamer, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. What I just find is ironic that things, not just you, other guys that are kind of pro Nintendo, were asking for Nintendo to bring, and and I've seen you a couple rant video. What is Nintendo? And they didn't give it to you, and you're still going to run out and give them your money.
You know why? Because
I don't understand.
At the end of the day, I don't play graphics. I play games. They got the games that appeals to me. Like the
Bro,
Scorpio's
that's
coming
not
out.
what I said. That wasn't the question at hand. I understand about the
It's
graphics.
about
Fine.
the
That may not
games
appeal to you.
today. It's about
But I'm just saying the things that you had asked Nintendo to give you for their next console, they're still not giving you. That's all that I'm saying. And you're okay with still running out there and giving.
There's stuff
You
that
know,
I'm asking
it's
for
always going to be a Mario
Microsoft.
game.
There's
There's
stuff I'm
always going
asking
to be a
for
Zelda game on
Microsoft.
Nintendo platform. Yes,
I didn't
you say?
get the type of games I want from Microsoft, and I still got an Xbox One because I like
No,
Halo.
that's not what I
I like
said.
Gears
Listen,
of
that's
War.
not what
I
I
like
said.
those type of games.
Let me repeat. Listen, let me repeat myself again. Nintendo, am I right? Are they always going to have a Mario game? Yes or no?
Of course, that's the bread
They're
and butter.
always going to have a Zelda game, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So we know those are coming. But I'm just saying the thing that you were asking the Nintendo to bring, if they don't, you don't know whoop doo, they're not giving you, and you're okay with still running out, giving them your money. So, like I said, flip the coin. Could you imagine if it's not even an Xbox or a Sony thing? Could you imagine if Sony put out a console or the PS5, right? And the PS5 is weaker than the PS4 Pro. You would say to yourself, I'm not buying that shit. Fuck me buying that shit. We can right now. So my thing is, why us as the gamers or whatever as a collectible, community, why is Nintendo basically the point of the show is not held to the same standards as Microsoft and as Sony? Could you imagine if Sony or Microsoft had an online service that you had to download some shit in your app that and then talk to somebody? We talk, bro. Listen, we talk about shit that has been normal since 2002. I've been a beta tester for Xbox
No,
Live.
I know what you're saying. No, I just ranted about that in my stream I did before you invited me. I talked about all that stuff that was unnecessary. Yes, these accessories, these controllers, and Joy-Cons.
So how do we
is expensive. I said that.
Okay, so why do we still got our support?
Y'all got elite control. Xbox got elite controls that cost $150. That is a controller, right? It's like the Pro controller is $70.
But you don't have to buy it.
But you don't have to buy
lose your Xbox. If you lose your Xbox controller, you can go get you. You don't have to. Like I said, you don't have to buy it. It's not that the Joy-Con. Hang on, but if you don't have that Joy-Con, you can't play with it.
Yo, Mr.
You don't got
the Joy-Con comes with the system though.
Yeah, no, but if you lose it, hang on. I have a 10-year-old kid. I already said he'll break air if he could. I got a little cousin, so when I buy for one, I got to buy for the other one. If they lose shit for fun, if they lose that Joy-Con, I'm breaking somebody's ass.
All right,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like this. At the end of the day, it all boils down to this. Do you like Mario? Do you like Zelda and Star Fox and Donkey Kong? Do you
I am a mature gamer.
If you don't like them, then why even bother with Nintendo?
I'm glad you said that. Hold up. I'm glad you motherfucking said that. And that is the problem with fucking
If you don't
Nintendo
like
people.
Nintendo's IPs, why even bother with Nintendo?
Guess what? I'm an Xbox fan, right? I don't give a fuck about Halo. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Halo.
And that's why we don't give a fuck about him.
I have others that play.
This hurts
You know what I mean? And that's the problem with the Nintendo fans. Again, I'm 38 fucking years old. My first console was an NES. Okay, they had all the games, everything for everybody. You know what I mean? They had all the multi-plats and all that shit. That art style, I have outgrown. I don't feel the connection with it. I'm not knocking those that like it. It's just not my thing. But guess what? And this is the problem. If you don't see this, the problem with Nintendo is that no one looks at Nintendo as their primary console. It's a second or a third console, and that's not healthy. All I'm saying,
you cannot tell a Nintendo fan,
This is the thing I don't get though. Next Gen said, back in the day, Nintendo had everything for everybody, right? Cool.
Yes.
But to be fair, you like Xbox, right? Xbox ain't got everything for everybody really either.
Why don't they?
If anything, you could say Sony does. Now, I know you don't like the as you said Kamasuki Dragon games.
They have them.
They have.
Hang on. The Xbox got them crazy shit, but you gotta go far away in that goddamn store.
I know they got. I know they got them because I'm in. But they're limited and they're very like at that point you might as well say that's like someone saying, "Hey Zaire, if you said, man, Nintendo ain't got no football game," you say, "Man, they got man 2013 from back at launch."
Not having any. Does Sony have more? Yes.
Hey, can I ask a question?
They have a couple pages of that shit in there.
But
I don't care for it. But they do have them there.
What did the Wii U have that? If we talking about it just having it, period, right? Well, what was the Wii U missing?
What was it missing?
Yeah, as in genres.
They didn't have. They missed a lot of triple. I don't have to go to name.
No, I'm talking about
They missed every AAA third party game.
no, I said genres. What genres didn't it have?
I was talking about games. You know, maybe.
That's why I was referring to the genres because you said Nintendo had everything for everybody. Well, that covers every genre.
I was saying they had Double Dragon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Karate Kid, Double Dribble, Tecmo Bowl, you name it, Track and Field. They had it. And to see where they are today, and you're just looking at that platform, the problem is, Nintendo people, you have to, not even yourself. What I'm saying, take yourself in your equation. Maybe you can afford to have multiple consoles, right? I'm a poor black kid from motherfucking Newark, New Jersey, coming up. Not everybody can afford to have a Nintendo. And there's gonna be people that's like, even though you may like Mario, you may like motherfucking Duck Hunt, but you know what? Your mom's, you can get one console for Christmas, all right? So you going out to buy that motherfucking the Switch, yeah, you know you're not gonna get that Battlefield. You know you're not gonna get that For Honor. You know you're gonna get that Injustice. Man, fuck that, man. I just have to play monthly. And that is the issue. That's all that I'm saying. Whether you like those games or not, that's a problem. What's up, Jay Centuries? Listen, what's your stand? How do you feel about this?
Okay, yeah, let me ask you this. What is the biggest, out of all the markets, what is the biggest market in gaming? Like, which console rules supreme, all that? I'm not talking about, I'm not trying to take sides or anything. I'm just going to point something out. Which market? Is it PC, mobile, or console gaming?
I think it's PC and mobile, I think.
It's mobile.
I would say mobile. Everyone has a cell phone. Everyone has a cell phone. I would say mobile.
Yes, it is mobile. And that's the reason why Nintendo's going that route, because they know that they can get a bigger cash flow off that side of things.
How do you
that don't make sense, Jay. That don't make sense, Jay. Unless they're gonna have the Google Play Store on that motherfucker.
No, I'm not talking. They're trying to merge the console with the mobile market because that's where they want to go. They want to get rid of their 3DS handheld and make that their primary system, the Switch. You can see what I'm saying? So they want to jump into that mobile aspect with that.
What we're saying is this, Jay. They already got a handheld machine. It's called a 3DS, right? The 3DS really is not. No. Listen, what I'm saying. The Switch. If you trying to say the Switch market and the mobile market ain't the same. You know how many free games you can play on your phone? How many dollar games is on the phone? If the Switch ain't got a bunch of free and dollar games, I don't see how it's going to be competing.
They're not competing with the mobile market. I'm trying to state that they're not caring about the console. Like, y'all are thinking here. This is the problem. Y'all are seriously thinking here that they give a fuck about what Microsoft and Sony is doing.
No.
I don't think nobody's confused. We're pretty convinced they don't give a fuck about what Microsoft and Sony is doing. I don't think anybody thinks they care.
Yeah, no. And listen, Jay Century, I'm not negating what you're saying, but you're not listening to what Nintendo's saying.
Oh no, I hear what Nintendo's saying. They don't care.
Listen, this is not my words. Now listen, had this been the successor to the 3DS, it's cool, Xbox. If this is the successor to the 3DS, I don't have an issue with it.
But
I
think it is.
But this is their whole. This is what they said. This is their 9th generation console. That's what I'm saying.
But I think it is a console to their 3DS and their Wii U at the same time. I don't think it's just a successor to the Wii U.
Not according to the company. Not according to Nintendo.
That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's all. McGrimm, me and you both know this is all PR speak.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it's PR speak. We're just talking actual factuals. According to Nintendo, it's not replacing the 3DS.
Yeah, I think it is. We'll see if they bring out a new.
Well, I'll tell you this is what Nintendo does every generation. They always say their new machine ain't gonna replace the other machine, and if it's successful, it does. Now, if it's not successful, then maybe it won't. But if it is, then maybe it will. We don't know.
Because I don't see them bringing out another 3DS after they bring this out at all. I think this is a successor to both their consoles. This is their way to get out of the consoles.
Yeah, it's the bridge the gap. Yep.
Yeah, it's the bridge the gap.
Every month, right? It's Jay. We see the MVP every month. How many 3DS games have you seen in the top 10 of the MVP?
Pokemon, most of the time.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
I mean, you can't deny that Nintendo doesn't have successful IPs, even with their 3DS model. Zoom Tycoon or whatever.
Hey, I can tell you the truth. I'm gonna keep it 100. They go buy they motherfucker. They go buy their exclusives.
Yeah,
we don't. They go out and buy them motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie. They go buy them motherfuckers.
Yeah,
but they ain't got else to play. But then I tell people else they got to play.
But at the same time, I mean, does Nintendo honestly? Who's the real Nintendo fan? I think Active is. Do y'all really even care about online like that? Because I'll be honest, I'm buying a Switch. I'm buying it for Zelda, and my girl's buying one for Zelda too. Do I give a fuck about online with Zelda? No. Do I give a fuck about online with
Mario? They don't even have no online. Why would you?
Okay.
What you ain't gonna care?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like when I'm going to go buy the Switch, I could care 2 fucks about their goddamn pay service.
Jay,
I'm never gonna pay into it.
I know you, Jay. You like Halo, right? You a shooter guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They beat Halo 5 Splatoon, so you're gonna want to play Splatoon 2, right? Because you're gonna want to know what beat.
But is Splatoon really worth me opting into that online service when I have Steam and I have Xbox Live? That's what I'm looking at.
It's better than Halo 5. You ain't gonna want to see what's better than Halo 5.
That shit ain't better than Halo 5.
No, according
that is not better than Halo.
That shit ain't. If that shit better than Halo 5, man,
I know where you're getting there because you're still getting called that one shit.
It's very subjective, guys. Very subjective.
That shit is not. Splatoon is not better than. I'll put it this way. That's nowhere near. Splatoon is not nowhere near Halo 5 at all. No. Let's get that. Let me tell you that. Let's just kill that. Let's go put that motherfucker in the box.
But
let's go Jakku stove and let's throw that motherfucker in the motherfucking in the thing. You cannot say that.
Halo.
You understand
what I'm saying?
Like, hold on. I get what Grimm's getting at. He's trying to say that that's gonna want me to opt in to buy on the online system. I understand that. But not one game's gonna do that at all.
Hey, but Jay, you're proving my point, right? And that's what I was just started this conversation. Why is it again that we don't want to play online with the Nintendo platform? Why is it okay not to have it? Now,
why can't I play Zelda? Why can't I play Zelda?
I think what it is. I think what it is.
Why can't I play with a friend?
I think what it is.
Why can't I play it with a friend? Why can't I enjoy it with a friend? Why you can't enjoy it with your wife?
What you're saying is Zelda's now. I don't think Zelda will ever have a co-op.
That's an offline game though, so you can't play it on.
Yeah, but check it out.
Halo was an offline game, and you play
Halo was never offline.
No, Halo the campaign was offline. If you go look at Halo 1 and Halo 2, you was the same motherfuckers. The Halo 3, you was the same people. You had different skins, but you was at the end of the day, you was Master Chief.
Mr. 100, I gotta correct you. Halo 2 had online campaign.
No, but you was still Master Chief. You wasn't no one else.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying. But hang on. But did one of them Zelda games on them DS had multiple Zeldas playing?
But that's specifically made Zelda for that. They did that. But they've done that. But hold on. But they've done that for the console before, though.
Yeah, they did for the GameCube, I believe.
Yeah, they had what was it, 4 Swords for the GameCube was multiplayer.
But who had the GameCube? Nobody wanted that little small ass this and that crazy ass controller.
Nintendo fans, if you're an Xbox dude, you don't want Nintendo.
I'm a Sega guy. I'm an Xbox dude. I'm all that shit. I play every damn thing when I get ready to. No, that's you. Tell your mama I love her though.
The system,
like was a good console, bro. Can't hate on it at all.
No, I played Madden. I hated Madden on that shit. I hated that shit.
But like I said, so what you're saying,
so Jay, y'all see no pros to this console.
And that's the problem
right
now.
No, the design is cool. Zelda looks great. I'm not shitting on the console like it ain't shit. The technology.
Why would you want to co-op on Zelda?
I would because what's up? What's up with me and you?
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Hold on. What you gonna do? See who can open the fucking chest faster? Oh, tap X.
No, you might get solved that puzzle. You might solve them hard ass puzzles that Zelda has.
But they would have to make a Zelda design for that, which they have.
Okay, but
was it 4 Swords co-op?
They just released one. They released one to 3DS. Triforce Heroes. That's
Triforce Heroes.
Actually, they released one on the Wii U, but it wasn't like a full Zelda game. You know what I'm talking about, Grim?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this though. What you're saying, why would you do this? And that is the issue. You know, that again, that in itself is the problem. Or even that, Jay, how can we in good mind and good faith or whatever, that we can go out and continue to give Nintendo our money if they refuse to give us the things that we're asking for? You know what I mean? Like, that's all that I'm saying. Like, could you imagine?
How many times have you said to yourself, Next Gen, that Nintendo's like the old grandpa? It never wants to do what you want. It just does what it wants.
But guess what? I'm not giving grandpa no money no more. I'm not going to buy that beer no more.
But that's what I'm saying. Like grandpa that you don't have to, like, you know they're not going to do what you want, right?
Well, I can't.
That's just what they do.
I don't have to. That's what I'm at the point now. Well, and I like to own every console. But what I'm saying to you is, in the same token, if that had been Microsoft or Sony, come on. And why we don't look at questions on your same light? Why they not hold to the same standards as everyone else?
I think. Well, to be fair, everybody else ain't hold to the same standards as Nintendo, because you know what? If Sony or Microsoft dropped out a fucked up game, people be like, that's normal. Now let Nintendo do that. They wouldn't think that's normal because Nintendo doesn't do that.
They did with that start. That what's that? That
Yeah,
fucking
I was
star.
about to say
That what you call it? Heroes. Or that shit
No,
was
no,
called.
Star Fox had controls that people didn't like. I'm talking about the motherfucker put the disc in, don't work.
That had one oh okay. I was about to say
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about one of the worst ratings from Nintendo in years.
That's people not liking the controls. I'm talking about the game don't work.
But that was a platinum game. That wasn't a first party IP.
And then I'm gonna say this too. Also,
that's 2 days ago. I'm trying to play games on my Xbox One, and they won't start up.
What games is that?
You got
all my games.
I never heard of that shit.
No.
And if it don't work, now I had NBA 2K. I pre-downloaded. It fucked up. It fucked up, and I told Microsoft like, "Hey man, this game." And I was just, when you get the game early, you get to get early access and shit. It said, "Oh, your data was corrupted." You know what I'm saying? Microsoft said we apologize for it, but that's not us. It's really 2K, and you have to re-download it. I fucked around. Was like, all right. Fuck, man, I want to do this fucking 45 gig again. But then next thing later, Microsoft said that, you know what, for your inconvenience, what about like $7 of Xbox money? That's what I'm saying. I mean, give me some type of shit. But I ain't never known the game.
That's nice, but what I'm saying is I would rather the motherfucker not do it at all.
But you're going to have to do it. I'm going to put this way. These things about this, blame it on the developer. Don't blame it on Microsoft. Don't blame it on Microsoft. Don't blame it on Microsoft. Don't blame it on Sony. Blame it on the developer.
No. Because
Grim, I got an easy fix for you.
This issue I was having is the Xbox One system's problem. It wasn't the game. It's the problem of the system. Because that system has issues where
fix for you, bro.
I know the fix. I did the fix. It's completely turned the motherfucker off and turn it back on. The problem,
no, man. All roads lead to Scorpio.
Get the Scorpio. Why would I buy a Scorpio?
Hang on. But I got a question. I got a question. If you got to reboot, don't you do the same shit with a PC? Because I swear to God,
I don't
my
have
PC
to do it with my Nintendo.
Huh? Because the games don't take that because that game, that's not a damn computer system. Nintendo ain't a computer system.
Wait. All consoles are computers.
All games.
No, that's not a PC.
Hey, bro, stop it! I've been stuck on levels in the NES. Come on, that's the nature. Like all games get stuck in that bugs, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say, what happened to blowing in the cartridge, man, back in the day?
Like everybody, come on, we talking about stop it. Like Nintendo.
Blowing the cartridge messed up the cartridge. They didn't fix the cartridge.
No, hang on. When you got to go put toothpaste on the disc. That's from the 360, from the Dreamcast, and you got to sit there and wax it.
That's gonna be a scratched up disc. Listen, you don't understand what I'm saying.
No, hang on. But your disc gets scratched up. I'm gonna tell you one reason. I'm gonna tell you, Dream Capacity, one reason these games install in the system, because every time these games spin, the laser scratches up the disc regardless. It scratches up the disc, so it doesn't matter. That's why they rip it to the system.
Listen, you don't understand it. None of my shit was working. Digital wasn't working. Physical wasn't working. I had to reboot the motherfucker. Okay, but what I'm trying to no. I'm not saying it's a big deal. I'm just saying I never had that issue on a Nintendo product.
All Nintendo make is Tetris type games.
See, now
you. Did you clean your system, Cash?
Look at
now you're getting spooky, bro.
No, because
argument or you Nintendo, you Wii U weirdos. Listen, the games that Nintendo make, they've been making the same goddamn games since '85. Would they step outside the box and make something that's more challenging using an up-to-date fucking engine? Let's be clear.
The same goddamn game. What are you looking for? Because you say you're a mature gamer.
No, this is what I'm looking for.
What you looking for?
I listen. It's 2017. If I'm not mistaken.
2017.
Is it not 2017?
It is 2017.
Okay. All right. Fine. We agree with that, right?
What you looking for?
Since the inception of Nintendo, with their art style and the direction, it's been the same thing, right?
Okay.
Same fucking thing. I would love to see Nintendo step outside of the box and make something for a mature gamer. Art style, content,
What is mature violence to you? What do you? I'm trying to understand.
You're looking for something like
because the idea that violence is maturity, that's silly in itself.
What do you mean?
If you're saying I'm just asking.
What about the theme, the plot? Maybe maybe someone had a venereal disease, something. I'm tired of the white.
What about my kids? What about your kids?
I'm done with that shit.
Hold on.
Well, they have games for you. They have Metroid. They have Zelda. I don't know why. If you never played Metroid and Zelda and don't know the stories of Metroid and Zelda,
the characters don't even fucking talk.
Hold on. Do you know this? No, you said you want a mature story, right? They have quote-unquote mature stories.
Next gen.
They got them. What you call the stories, man? They got them. They got them soft porn stories.
Hey, listen. Why don't their characters have dialogue?
They do have dialogue.
Now the Breath of the Wild has dialogue. That's why I was interested.
No,
They finally talk.
Zelda has had dialogue since Zelda on the NES. I don't know why.
Yeah, but nobody want to sit there and read, man. You don't read.
Man,
I don't want to read no more.
No,
man.
Nigga,
I want to read this shit.
What's that? The black man with the Chinese store on Crenshaw. My man.
Next gen. Let me ask you a question.
I'm talking about talking. I ain't talking about reading. I'm talking about talking.
Hold on.
Them motherfuckers talk.
They just implemented voice acting in Zelda.
No. They have voice.
Zelda got voice now. That's what I like about Zelda. That's why I want to get it.
They've been talking that they've been talking that Banjo Kazooie gibberish for the longest of time in Zelda. What are you talking?
Man, nobody want to sit that man. Come on.
I'm talking about.
Hang on. Microsoft just gave us a free game. And it was a JRPG, and it was cool. But the shit had.
Oh, you talking about?
I can't think about that. It was
talking about that. I know you talking about
Earthbound. I'm like, damn, this shit felt like it was cool. Like, you can't have some type of voice in this shit.
Oh man,
you didn't have no.
Hold on, let me ask y'all this, because I know y'all motherfuckers sitting here talking about y'all like Ori and the Blind fucking Forest, and I like that game.
I ain't tell you, I ain't on Ori the Blind, so I can't tell you if I like it or not.
Somebody was hyping on Ori. I know these. I know these were games y'all were naming in y'all list, and y'all like, oh man, these are Xbox games coming.
I've never played it. Let me tell you one thing about Mika Pachi. I'm the most unethical Xbox fan you ever meet.
That nigga be on Netflix. You see, and we on
that nigga. Wait. Next gen don't even own a controller. He got the Xbox One app and shit. That's how you play.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I say that to say this. You know what I mean. Again, why it's okay for us to look at Nintendo with these fucking and it's okay. Next generation, they're gonna get it together. And we continuously to go out there and give them money.
No, I don't look at it like that.
Let me give you a scenario. Today's Martin Luther King holiday, whatever, right? Birthday, whatever, right? You remember when he had the civil rights movement, when he was boycotting, black people can ride in front of the bus? Those white folks didn't give a fuck about them boycotting, right? They only change when they stop spending their money. You understand you see where I'm going with this? We complain about the things that we want Nintendo to do, but if we continue to keep going out to give them the money, they're not going to have an incentive to change. That's all. What's wrong with bringing what Nintendo? Again, we're talking about the grandfather of gaming. Why are they so far behind the fucking curve? Behind the corner.
You're not hearing me, man. I've been listening. I've been listening to you for a minute, man. I remember when you debated Twilight Bites. I agree with you. I remember you said some shit. It was a while back.
Oh, I remember that. You said some shit with
Yeah, you said some shit. Why can't we blame Nintendo? Because a lot of Nintendo do say that it's not Nintendo's fault, right? I agree with you on a lot of things, right? The third parts, their relationship fucking it up. But what I'm saying to you is this, right? When it comes down to the shit, right? As long as these motherfuckers have the games I want to play, right, and they don't have droughts, because that's the only issue I have with the Wii U. It had fucking droughts.
You don't think this? Okay, and you don't think?
No, don't get it twisted. Don't get. Oh no, see that's the thing. I don't know. I can't tell you, and I hope it does, but I don't know.
Let me tell you this. I can guarantee you this. When a developer have to go out of their way to shoehorn a game or make a game, especially for your platform, then it becomes a problem, okay? Now, you look at the Xbox One and PS4, basically the same architecture, x86, either port left or port right, okay? But if you look at a game like FIFA, They got a fucking port down for the 3. That, and when they got to start making games to include the Joy-Con and Rumble, that's when it becomes an issue. You got all this shit. None of their games are made, especially for the quote-unquote, the regular, where you got to buy the Pro Controller. All that other extra shit, they got these HD technology and Rumble and shit. That's when it becomes an issue. They're not going to have the same flow of games like the PlayStation and the Xbox One. Check it out. How many big multiplayer games we got coming out this month alone? You got Resident Evil, you got For Honor, you got Tekken and all that shit coming out. Comes out before the Wii U. So the Switch is launched. None of them shits are hitting there. So that's telling you it's gonna. We've seen this movie before. We have. Like I don't like people deny. Oh, you can take it on the go. So the fuck what? That doesn't mean anything. 2 hours. Like we didn't ask Nintendo for a handheld. We're talking about. I've never seen none of you guys on YouTube talking about handheld ever. And now this is the best thing about it. Like, come on, man. We gotta be realistic with ourselves here. Now this is the reason because it's a handheld. I've never seen real gaming 22 talking about no 3DS Vita. Oh man, I can't wait. No, I never seen you talk about it, Gripachi.
I talked about the Vita.
I'm like the last nigga with a Vita.
I had a Vita.
Okay, I got one too, but I've never seen you.
That shit sound like a movie. Last nigga with a Vita.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying we're talking about consoles here. You know what I mean? So what this one for the wise that it's going to be.
This how I judge things, right? I judge things off of their previous work, and the Switch does look better than the Wii U, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing. Like people are judging things off of other things, right? Which is fine. I'm not saying that you're any wrong for doing that. If you have an Xbox and you like Xbox, there's nothing wrong with looking at the Switch and saying, "Well, damn, it's not like my Xbox. I don't want the shit." That's correct. You could do that all day long. But what I'm saying is, I look at the Switch like, is it better than the Wii U? Honestly.
Why?
It looks like what's the shit y'all used to say with the Pro? It's just a little bit more, right? That's what the fuck it looked like, really, to be honest with you. And to be fair, everything that's coming to the Switch could run on the fucking Wii U.
I still think I'm still not understanding what
everything about the Switch could be an accessory for the Wii U. Nintendo could have just said, "Hey, we making a more powerful tablet for your Wii U. Buy it separately. Making some better Wii remotes for your Wii U. Buy it separately. Here's arms. If you had the and I even said that would be tight if they said, "Hey, look, the Switch console, it could just be a new tablet for your Wii U, and then you don't even you could just that would be all cool and dandy." But that's just not the case, right? At the end of the day, as long as the Switch doesn't have droughts, for me personally, I'm not one of these people running around talking about power. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. As long as it don't have droughts,
exclusives every month.
Huh?
You think you're gonna get exclusives every month?
It ain't even got to be as long as the games appeal to me.
That's not what I'm asking you. What I'm asking you don't really care about third-party multiplats on your Wii U.
No. See, there's the thing. Y'all don't look at shit like the Sky 5 and shit like the third-party multiplayer. So, I care about third party.
You said why would you want to get? You said some of the fact that you don't multi-plats on your Switch, but fine.
No, that was these games.
Here's the question though: do you think they're gonna even get a lot of third-party multiplayer?
Honestly,
a lot of third-party exclusives.
The type of games that
that's what they need to go
like the Japanese games and shit. I think the Switch will get a lot of those. Will it get Battlefield? Probably never.
Well, I'm not saying Battlefield, but what I'm saying is, do you think it's going to get a lot? Because remember, they said the same thing at the beginning of the Wii U, and then like a year later, they just stopped getting third party.
I think that it can. I think it can. And
how?
Then, what do you mean how? I mean, to be fair, I didn't even know this. I was talking to some Nintendo dudes near the end of last year, and they said 400 games came out last year for the Wii U. I didn't even know that shit.
Okay.
But you gotta think 400 games in 1 year. They ain't bad.
For the games that who plays? That who plays?
I mean, but
who plays?
But
what are these games releasing?
Mr. Out of them 100 games, out of them 400 games, you may find some games you like. I don't remember.
I play indies
for the Xbox and PlayStation.
I play indies. I play indies like a motherfucker. But I'm gonna put it this way: my expectations is low, but I don't count them. You'll never see me say, "Hey man, I played what's one of my favorite games called The Valley." I love The Valley. I need to go play that shit tonight to go through it again because I ain't open up everything. But I can't say, "Oh, I'm not using it." As if I go, "Oh, that's an exclusive." You can't play that on no one else. No, can't do that.
No, I'm not talking about exclusive. I'm just talking about games. Period.
Yeah, but I think about it is with the games. Like, where are these games at in Japan? I'm not a Japanian. I don't live in Japan. Sorry to say, I don't. I'm not.
This nigga said Japanian.
Yeah, I'm not a Japanian. I got a new word up.
I never cared if a game was from Japan and not. I mean, to be honest,
actually, that's one thing I am interested in because the Switch is going to be region free. So like you can go play other.
Some of that shit they need to region lock, like that cow game. They need to region lock that motherfucker. Nobody want that shit.
So as y'all
Yeah, you
complain
might.
about the Switch and their games, y'all don't have a problem with the exclusives for 2017 for Xbox?
Hell no, what I got a good problem about? Because we lost
I
one
mean,
game. Hang on, I got the preach right now. I got the preach. I've been gone. I've been off the grid for a minute.
The Xbox.
I don't.
I
Hang
do
on.
have a problem.
So you got a problem for one game. One game. We talking about one game. Yes, I was hyped for it, but we talking about one game. I never saw one game. I never saw one game broken.
Dead Rising 4. Why do we need another zombie game?
Listen,
We about to have
No,
another
I
zombie game,
never.
Resident
Hang
Evil.
on, what you mean? Hang on, but I never saw one game destroy a console. I never saw. If Mario don't come out, look about it. Mario ain't coming out on the Wii U until what? Sometime in the fall. I don't see nobody crying about that. If they decided to cancel it,
Mr.
ain't
Wonder,
nobody finna sit there and go to war for it. We talking about one game.
Mr. Wonder,
Yeah, we
let
talking
me
about
say
one
something.
game.
Mr.
We
100,
talking
let
about
me
one
say something.
game.
One game can define just like
How's gonna define? That shit ain't gonna define. That shit ain't finna define
Hey,
that.
Zelda. Look how they
hey,
Listen,
One game.
I
I bought a PS3 just for Last of Us, bro.
I'm
That's
about
it.
to switch.
Hey, yo,
One
hey,
game.
hey, look, I'm gonna be
One
honest with you.
game.
I got the Xbox One because I want to play Sunset.
Hey, no, but let me say something.
What? So one. Hang on. One. No, I gotta get this one because I've been seeing motherfuckers set tripping and shit lately. One
This nigga
game.
said set tripping.
Yeah, one. I'm talking about one game that we barely saw a little. Now I saw a little bit more of it because somebody showed it
That
to
one
me.
game. Shit
Oh no,
on the rest
I
of
saw it.
exclusive. It shits on Halo Wars.
Nah, I can't agree.
You can't say it on shit. Hang on. You can't
no,
say it. Hang on. Hang on. I'm gonna tell you. Have you played Halo Wars before?
Yes, I have.
So hang on. Hang on. Have you played Halo Wars before? Have you
Halo
played
Wars
two?
sold 2.5 million.
No,
Who
one
is
played-
Hey, it's so
I mean,
man, that
you
2.5 million. Some games don't sell a million. You go with it.
Hold on, wait, wait.
Mr. 100, quiet for a second. Let me say something.
On some real shit though, when they show Scalebound, that shit look early as shit. The concept of Scalebound is cool, but I didn't even see a full product yet. And you saying
what we saw? I liked it. We know.
I mean, yeah, I like what I saw, but what I'm
Why
saying
would
is,
you
you saying
not like
you saying
fucking-
Halo Wars only sold 2.5 million. Scalebound sold 0 million. It sold zero nothing.
Yeah.
It didn't even come out. It fucking didn't make nothing.
Yo, but can I say something?
What you about to say, Jason?
If you go look at,
Yeah, let Jay talk.
Yo, Mr. 100, if you look at E3 2014, almost every game that they showed off there has either been canceled or has been a flop. What does that tell you right now? Now
Which-
I'm
So
not-
what was a, hang on, what, hang on, no, let me answer this, man. So what was a flop? I probably
Quantum
don't.
Break?
What was a flop?
Quantum Break wasn't
Quantum
really
Break was not a
It was
flop. That ain't no flop. That game was good. That was one of the Quantum Break was the
Are we
shit.
gonna get a sequel?
That's no
Huh? No, we ain't gonna get a sequel. No, you know why we ain't gonna get a sequel? Know why we get a sequel? Hey, I'm gonna tell you, know why we ain't getting a
That's
sequel?
what the Xbox group is for. Halo, Gears of War.
Listen,
What Halo Gears of War?
I'm about Rise of Tomb Raider.
Let me finish, Mr. 100. You asked me that. Let me
I'm being quiet.
Yeah, my TikTok channel, and I still
Yeah, let
support
me finish.
Rise of Tomb Raider on both platforms.
Why do y'all want Remedy anyway? Because Remedy makes the same
Remedy's a
game
piece
every
of
time.
shit. Remedy's a
Wait,
piece of
hold
shit,
on,
bro.
hold
That's
on,
fine.
hold on. What you about to say, real gamer? What you about to say?
What's that? No, I'm just basically just going after like basically look. These games that's coming out this year on the Xbox does not appeal to me. You know, everybody got their own opinions, but we just had a zombie game, Dead Rising 4. We about to have another zombie game with State of Decay, in which there's no
Yeah,
release.
but State of Decay.
Hang on. Real. Them two different
Hey,
games.
hold the fuck
Real.
up, man. Let him finish. Let him
It
finish,
has the
dog.
same concept. The same concept.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's two different games.
Never mind.
Have you
Don't
played
let him
one?
finish.
Have you played
You're
one?
telling me the State of Decay.
Hang on. Have you played one? Have you played one? Answer the question. Have you played one?
All day said never mind.
Yes, I have.
I'm not interested in the series. I'm not.
So if you're not interested, don't mean everybody else ain't interested. Just like I ain't interested
Hey, yo,
in Mario.
yo, real gamer on some real shit, real gamer. It's not the same.
Consoles. What
It's
is
not the same, bro.
Xbox
It's not
exclusive
the
this
same.
year that's going to sell consoles? What is Nintendo's exclusive this year that's going to sell consoles?
Yeah, but you can't really,
Okay,
you can't really say that because Nintendo's coming out swinging.
Listen, real gamer. Let's. How you say? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. You know what sells consoles this day and age? Multiplex.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Multiply.
I understand.
Listen,
I understand.
Destiny, Star Wars Battlefront, all that shit there that's coming out this holiday season is what's going to sell fucking.
Yeah, but we still don't have the facts.
Yes, but next year you can both agree that when you have a launch, it's about your first parties too.
On
We
some
still
real
don't
shit.
know,
What
yo.
you say, Jay Sentry? What'd you say?
I said when you have a launch console coming out, it's about your first parties also. I mean, that's why I said I guarantee Zelda will sell more than almost anything right now.
Listen, hold on. Let me say this. I'm not negating what you're saying. I'm just saying, in this climate, in this market space, there will never be an exclusive that outsells a multiplat. You see the same 10 multiplats
no, you won't.
in the MPD
system,
month
Xbox,
after month.
What are you talking about?
No, there are exclusives that outsell certain.
No, talking about.
You're gonna see that
Mario
fucking
Wii sold over 30 million. New
multiplat.
Super Mario Wii sold over 30
See that
million.
exclusive? I played this. How many times did Mario Kart chart for the MPD? It charted that 1 month, and
The
you're gonna
first
see
month?
it again. You see the same 10 fucking multiplats.
GTA, hey, GTA,
No
it's still
multiplat.
charting. Like it's,
Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart Wii.
On some real shit next gen. Look, I guarantee
That was last
I get- look,
generation.
look.
I said this generation.
This
I'm
generation?
talking about this generation. And Mario Kart Wii, they bundled with the goddamn console. Come on, bro. We're talking about
We
now.
still gotta wait. The Switch is not even out yet. We jumping.
The bitch come out next month. 6 weeks.
It's not here yet.
Like, what are you talking about?
Give it another year, then we can start talking about this.
Keep it, hey, bro. We've seen this movie before. The white girls running from Jason.
nigga sound like he sneezed.
This nigga here delusional. I know you just left Dr. Treehouse, nigga. Pull your pants up. Listen, what? Why did the Wii U fail? Why?
Because lack of games. We know lack of games, lack of third-party support, lack of a lot of things. Yes, I appreciate.
Okay, so what's the difference
I did.
between the Wii U, okay, and the Switch?
It's a little
It had
bit low.
Mario, it had Zelda, and all that shit on the Wii U, right? Listen, am I mistaken? Yes or no? Listen, yes or no? Did it have Mario on the Wii U?
I got an answer.
Did it have Mario on the Wii U?
Yeah,
Did
they
it have
had Mario.
Zelda? Did it have, Toad?
Wii U did not. Wii U had remastered Zeldas. No,
Yeah,
It had Zelda, right?
no, none of
And
them.
it had Zelda's big seller because Zelda's never really been a big seller, okay? Let's be clear that Mario is the face of Nintendo. All right? Let's be clear of this, all right? With that 100 million install base on the Wii U, Zelda sold like 3.5 million, or maybe close to 4. Okay, let's be clear. This, okay,
Oh, you said 100 million.
Zelda's never been the
Absolutely.
big iconic seller for Nintendo. It's always been Zelda in the more simplistic games. Even though the art style direction of Zelda's, it's kind of kiddie, but it's not. It's more of a game for the hardcore gamer. Okay. With that being said, you had all of these goddamn games. Like I told Dr. Trey, he still had to pay.
that.
Okay, so again, now the reason why the Wii U fell, one of the main reasons that it fell, again, because the climate has changed the landscape, and it didn't get any of the AAA multiplats, okay? Because when you have those droughts, like you said in the game, you don't get exclusives every month. You get exclusives once every 3 months, okay? Nintendo's not going to drop exclusive. They're going to eat their own market up, okay? They had to give them on time on the market by themselves, okay? Now, with that being said, so to fill those voids again, that's when you get the AAA. You know what I mean? The big, you get the Ghost Recons and this and that, and they're still not getting that. So that says a lot. What I'm saying to you is that we've seen this movie already.
So you tell me if the Switch have the
wait.
console as the
Check it out,
PS4,
y'all. It's Monday right now, right? This show is now called Let's Be Honest. Facts.
Yeah, we got to be honest with ourselves because a lot of these games,
Next year's actually right because the same thing happened with the Wii U.
Always online. Am I not mistaken? A lot of these games have DRM are always online. Promise that For Honor, big game coming out, always online, right? Okay, so how could the Switch get that? First of all, it's not powerful enough to run it. It's not even my words. You had a developer from Ubisoft and came out and said that the Switch can't run the same goddamn game as the PS4 and the Xbox One. It doesn't have enough memory bandwidth. It's not powerful enough. So, like I'm saying, you guys seen this movie. That's all I'm saying.
Follow Microsoft's story with everything, the power of everything. They got to follow.
What'd you say?
It wasn't Microsoft.
Listen, my cell phone is Unreal. It's not saying nothing. It does Unreal Engine in medium settings. The PS4 does it in high and ultra, and the Xbox One, but it's not saying anything. The iPhone was there on Unreal Engine 3.
Zaire. Zaire. You're getting the Scorpio, right?
Yes.
What do you now? I know you've been talking. You said you want better textures and all that.
Yes.
Right now, right? That gears and all this shit. Basically, the Xbox.
Bro, I don't want to fucking play on a PC, motherfucker.
No. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You know those games, right? If you equal them in settings to the PC settings, they're on high right now on the Xbox original, right? The Xbox One, right? So when you get it on your Scorpio, right? You played on PC for I don't know how long. Sometimes when you go from high to ultra, you don't really notice a difference. It's not a you know what I'm saying?
Here's
Yeah,
a
you
business.
do.
Okay.
Not
Here's a big difference.
depending on the
I'm
game.
about to get okay. Listen, sit down,
I
hold your
see
legs,
that
do
clock.
session.
That's
You know
on
what
that
consoles
one.
have over PC, and they will always have optimization. Okay, optimization. So again, even if you take a PC with the same exact specs as the Xbox Scorpio, the Xbox Scorpio will dance circles
Nah,
around
you
that
don't understand
motherfucker.
what I'm saying. That's only what
So,
I'm saying is this, right? Gears of War 4, right? When that comes to the Scorpio, if they don't add no new special textures just for the Scorpio, it's
They already said they were.
okay.
They
They
said
are
they're
acting.
optimizing. They said
No,
they're
no, 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 no,
optimizing it.
no. Optimizing is not adding new textures.
They're action. They say they're optimizing it.
But that's not. But
They
that's not
already
what I'm
have.
saying.
Think about it. You can't now. If it's a
No,
third party,
you're not
it might be something different.
you're not
Wait,
listening.
where are
That's
you
in
saying
house.
this?
That's
Because
in house.
hold on, Mr.
You're
100.
not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying if they don't add new textures to the game, which is what Zaire wants, he wants better textures, right? If they just give you the same texture that the PC version already got, the Xbox One is already running the shit at high, right? And the shit runs at, let's just say, ultra, which in a lot of cases don't really look that much different than high. Well, he's not going to see a big difference with that. He's
so
not.
listen, as again,
Because I know they said they weren't optimizing for Halo 5.
okay, but listen, as I say this again, okay, as long as my games run better and look better on the Scorpio graphically, I'm fine with that. I'm a console gamer. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the fuck look like on PC. Got a freaking never booted it up. I don't have, I'm just not with that. I'm not knocking those that do.
Turn up your mic, nigga.
Like, get on my ass in front of my 4K TV with HDR.
We can't hear you, Zaire.
You can't hear me.
Close to your mic.
Little bit closer.
Zaire.
He is at a computer trying to order the Wii on the Pro. I mean the Switch.
Yeah, you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You
I
hear
hear
me?
you now, motherfucker.
Oh, as I was saying, I've never booted it up on my PC. I like to sit on my 4K TV with HDR in my drawers, popping shit, sniffing coke, and fucking bitches. That's what I do. Right? I don't what it look on. I don't know what it look like on PC. I don't have nothing to be. As long as it looks better graphically than what I have right now, it looks better than what's on the consoles. I'm a console gamer. I'm fine with that.
So basically, what you're saying is like I'm just asking. The Switch comes out, it's the stuff don't look better, right? You're going to be on your soapbox like you are right now, because right now you're mad with Nintendo. Well, you don't like what Nintendo's doing because it's not better than what they previously did, right? Basically.
No. I'm mad. Listen, let me replay it. I'm upset with Nintendo because they're refusing to get with the times. I'm not asking that. Listen, I'm not asking to have God of War. I'm not asking to have God of War on the Switch. Okay, I'm not asking for that. But what I'm saying is how could you put out something, a console? Because they're saying this is going to be on the market for at least 5 years. But then, 5 years. That's not on par with 2013 hardware. That's my issue. Okay, because even though maybe you take a game like what's the game you guys talking about, Xenoblade or whatever the fuck. Had they put out a console, let's say maybe slightly under the Pro, maybe on par. Could you imagine what Zelda would have looked like graphically? I've seen many videos from many guys begging for Nintendo to put out a goddamn capable console, and when they don't do it, so it's all right. They got Zelda coming. That's all. How can we keep supporting them and they keep doing this bullshit? It's not going to do any better. That's all that I'm saying. Why can't I have voice chat in my games? Why do they go download a fucking cell phone app? Like that's crazy as hell to me. And we say, okay, it's Nintendo. And I'm just saying, why do we take that approach and that step? Because it's Nintendo. We
can say that about other things that go in the gaming community.
That's all. What'd you say, bro?
I said we can say that about other things that go in the gaming community.
What, bro? Listen. I'll voice my opinion with my wallet. You know what I mean? Listen. Let me ask you a question.
I get that, but
gaming is technology, right?
We say the same thing about Nintendo, but you could say the same thing about how Xbox Live has been doing right now with their shit, or how PlayStation has been doing. Each side, is going to stance towards their side.
Okay, no, bro. Listen, I'm a consumer first.
I'm not negating that.
I prefer the Xbox, Jay. I own everything, every console. I have everything. Okay. With that being said, okay, forget the shit I do here for shits and giggles for this console war. That's for fun. This is a character. I'm just talking about real nigga shit right here. Okay, gaming is technology, if I'm not mistaken. Technology, right? tech, what we're doing here, we all up in tech. Could you imagine the world of gaming if Nintendo was the only fucking console here? Or
because I
if
wouldn't
you
want to
had Nintendo was your only console, you would not be happy, right? Whether you like the Xbox or the PlayStation, you can choose left or right. You can pick one of those and you'll be fine. All right? You'll be fine. But would you be fine just ordering a Nintendo Switch? And if you say no, then that's what I'm talking about. It's a fucking problem. That's all that I'm saying. That no one looks at Nintendo as their primary console.
I mean, if you say
Nintendo fans look at Nintendo consoles as their primary consoles, like you an Xbox.
So why do they own other consoles then?
Hold on.
If you said all we had was Nintendo, then
I own every consoles. I own all the consoles because I'm a gamer, not a Nintendo gamer and Xbox gamer. I own everything.
He's a real gamer.
No, man. Like,
how many Nintendo fans are there that are on YouTube right now that solely just play on Nintendo only?
Who? We lover?
I don't know anybody.
There's a lot of Nintendo guys that only plays Nintendo.
Drone Custer,
no, that's what I'm saying. How many though that you know right now that do Nintendo videos that only just play on Nintendo?
They can't. They can't.
Hey, bro, listen.
I don't know any.
Listen, even in that right there in itself is unhealthy because listen, we've had some dope ass multi-platform that coming out for the last few years. You know, like come on, that's crazy as hell. I would never take some advice from a motherfucker like that playing bubble for the last 15 guys.
So you telling me that if this industry only had Xbox and PlayStation, it would be a healthy industry, without Nintendo?
Listen, I don't listen. Okay, fine. I don't have a problem with that. What the fuck is Nintendo bringing to the table? What has Nintendo done for gaming?
Listen, did you see the ice cubes in the cup?
No, listen.
Milk and a cow? Milk and a cow?
Real gamer. What has Nintendo done for gaming in the last 10 fucking years? Besides some fucking gimmick motion control. What has Nintendo done that really set the goddamn gaming world on fire? What?
The only thing that set the game on fire was the motion controls, but as far as that,
and they went back to it. Hang on, I got a question. Was motherfuckers bitching about motion control with Xbox and PlayStation and all this? Now it's acceptable now it's acceptable. It's acceptable now. With a Joy-Con, it's acceptable. That's my thing. It's acceptable now.
Did I ever said that? I want to know what video I said that was acceptable.
I ain't said it was you. I said other people. It's acceptable. And I ain't say you. I'm not mentioning. I'm talking in general. I'm not talking about third party. I'm talking in general. I'm talking in general. Now it's acceptable when Nintendo do it.
Real game.
When people know this, it's high value. What have they done in the last 10 years?
I mean, to be fair, I don't know what Microsoft has done either.
What? Okay, be fair.
How about Xbox
Live? How about achievement?
Online gaming has been here.
How about gaming live?
Hold on. That's been done. That was there before Xbox even.
Where did you have fucking in-game voice chat on consoles? Where? What console?
In Japan on the N64. Dead serious. Not even joking. You may not say that. You may not say that don't count, but it did exist.
Hey, bro, listen. Xbox Live is for the world. I'm not talking what happened in little China.
But Zaya,
listen. Let me repeat myself. I said voice chat mandatory in every game since 2002. Fucking party chat, motherfucking achievements. What about video? What about fucking Xbox Live Store? You got PSN.
Voice chat is not in every game.
What game is on it? What goddamn online game for the Xbox ain't got voice chat?
In the game, you didn't see. That's what you said. You said. Hold on, wait. You said every game. You didn't say what was on.
What multiplayer goddamn game for the Xbox don't have voice chat since 2002?
I don't know any then.
Oh, that's what I said. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, you said every game. You said whether it was a
Crimson Skies.
Oh, was he just named one?
Crimson Skies.
I was talking on Crimson Skies.
And Devil, Dead or Alive. I think it was like Devil Alive 3
or
whatever.
People talking about they saying Battlefield 1 didn't have it and Battlefield 4 didn't have it. I don't know if they
actually the Battlefield that was on
and that was
Xbox original that was from Disney.
Only one goddamn game that came out within the last. I did a video about this bullshit. That came out since 2002. It didn't have online voice chat. It had nothing to do with Microsoft, Sony. It came from Disney, and that was Star Wars Battlefront.
No, I just named you 3, Zaire.
You what?
Crimson Skies was an Xbox IP and it had online multiplayer with no voice chat. It came out. It came out after 2002. It was on the original Xbox.
Crimson Skies I had for my original Xbox. I wasn't talking on there in the lobbies.
It didn't have online voice chat. When it first came out, it did not have online voice chat at all. They had to update the systems to put it online voice chat. And the original Battlefield that came on the Xbox original didn't have online voice chat at all.
What original? What is my what game? What?
You didn't know that?
Cut this motherfucking mic off, man.
I'm not. No, go look it up. Go look it up.
Zaire sounded dude talking to Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction. Say what again?
Say what? I didn't
say it again.
Look it up, Zaire.
So you said it came out later in the patch.
Yeah, it came out later in the patch.
Okay,
and the original Battlefield, the very first Battlefield that came out on the original Xbox did not have voice chat.
Hold on. Hey, get me wrong. Did Battlefield 2 have on the Xbox PC? Did that have in-game voice chat?
Yeah, it did.
It did. Okay.
All right. So all right, look like this. So look like this. Okay, look like this, then, right? So between 2002, I'm gonna have
and if I'm not mistaken, Live didn't either.
2017, 15 years. So out of 15 years, you maybe had about 10,000 games released. Say, and out of 10,000 games, maybe 3 didn't have voice chat. Man, ladies and gentlemen, this show was over. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. It's been fun. I still haven't got the answer to the question that I was seeking.
What was the answer?
Why do we hold Nintendo in this regard? Why is it okay for not to?
We hold everybody differently. We hold everybody. Every company, we got different standards. Like people say, well, like me personally, right? People complain, well, why doesn't Xbox have any quote unquote exclusives? Well, to be fair, if you've been playing on the original Xbox, you know they've been sharing their games with PC forever. So to me, this ain't nothing new.
We're talking about consoles here, but okay.
No, but you get what I'm saying though. Like the console do say, well, why aren't these games exclusive? And I say, well, if you've been playing on the original Xbox, you know they've been sharing games between the PC and the Xbox for years. So but some people say, well, they should have exclusives only on there, like PlayStation. Well, some people figure, well, because it's Xbox and they've been doing this for years, they not hold to the same standard.
Who cares? It's a different company. Who gives a fuck?
Listen, again, we're talking about.
Oh no, wait, you say it's a different company. Okay, by that logic.
No. I listen. Well, this is what I'm here. We're talking about consoles. It's like me saying Smash Brothers is not exclusive to the Wii U because I could play it on the 3DS.
That's true.
Legend of Zelda Breath of what's the name? It's not exclusive because I can play it on the Wii U. Can I play that on the PS4? Xbox? Like, come on, that's just dumb fucking arguments right there. That shit didn't make any sense. I can play 90% of Sony's library on my Samsung TV. This is not still making a fucking PlayStation exclusive. That and again doesn't make any goddamn sense. That's the talk for the weirdo shit. What I'm saying is this: why is it okay for us not for Nintendo not to have fucking running water and heat inside the goddamn apartment? Yeah, that's all. I didn't ask for anything. Listen, I didn't ask for I didn't ask for mustard on a hot dog. I didn't ask for ketchup or relish. I just asked for a plain. You know what I mean? Just the basic shit.
2004, according to this, in 2004. Now this is by IGN. There were 22 games that had updates to install voice chat for the original Xbox.
Bro, what year is this?
2004.
What year is this?
This is 2017. You asked me how many original Xbox games didn't have voice chat in 2002.
Okay.
So there was a total of 24.
Okay. How many games have released for the Xbox between 2004 to 2017? If you say 22 games, like 98%.
Dude,
okay, but I'm just saying. Okay,
I'm just saying that there were a lot of games on the Xbox that didn't have voice chat.
But why is it okay, or do you think it's okay for Nintendo not to have the basic shit? That's all.
I mean,
but they're gonna fail. They're gonna have to keep failing until they realize that they're fucking up. I mean, no matter how much we say, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
How do they keep failing? People like you.
A lot of people can't keep failing with their wallet though.
Listen, if they're not,
I get that.
They're only fucking up when the general public is not buying their shit and they're not making money no more.
Now, that's the problem.
Now, if they fucking up to you, Zaire, I would say don't buy the shit. You know what I'm saying?
The reason why they fucking up to Zaire because Nintendo's games don't appeal to him. That's the issue.
At all.
They appeal.
No. Even better. Why can't I have other games besides Nintendo games?
Like we know you can play your multiplats on Xbox. So with multiplats,
listen, bro. When I bought my Wii U, maybe I'm the only one here to think. When I bought my Wii U, guess what I bought? A bunch of fucking multiplayer. I bought Assassin's Creed.
I did too. Yeah, because you don't care about excuses. That's why.
I don't care for that arcade. I do like some of Nintendo. Eternal Darkness, I love. No shit. It appealed to me. But again, I don't understand why can't I have those games?
What Wii U
You
got
ever heard
some,
me saying I'd rather have it than not need it than need it and not have it?
But it wouldn't be a smart thing to come out with a $400 console if nobody
Why
buying.
is it not a smart thing?
If nobody
Whoa,
buying the multiplex on that
whoa,
console,
whoa,
like
whoa,
what's the
whoa,
point? Because we know
You said it's not a smart thing to come out with a $400 goddamn console, but it's a smart thing to come out with a $300 console that's less powerful than $300 goddamn console.
Nintendo came out with a $400 console.
Hey, let me ask you a question though. A hypothetical question. What happens if Nintendo did everything that you wanted right now? Do you even think they would be able to compete with Sony and Microsoft?
Because the fan base is established on PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, why would they try to compete?
That's where you're wrong.
With established
again, what's it called? It's called building the ground base. You know what I mean? I wasn't always an Xbox fan, but guess what? I started on the Xbox One and continued to grow. You get new customers. You get new fans. The world is forever growing.
But maybe
that's how it's
people born every day, B.
Listen, on some real shit, I know what Zaire is saying because I told him this in the chat. I said, I'm going to get the Switch, but I'm be honest, the Switch may replace my Vita, but it ain't replacing the PlayStation and the Xbox.
But why is that?
Yeah, that's true.
Because
why can't it?
I played too many games, and I really don't think it's going to have that many games.
Oh, okay, but again, why can't it?
Didn't they say they got 80 plus?
Well, why can't?
Hey, I'll give my Zaire, I'll give my reason.
Why can't it get? You said why can't it get those games?
Yeah, if they put out, if they put out goddamn
those games, but I don't think Nintendo's going to want to fight to get those parties there.
But we still don't know all the facts. All the games is coming out. There's still a lot of games that's coming that we don't know about.
No, that's true. But what Zaya is talking about is for the everyday gamer, right? If someone said, "Hey, man, I don't really give a fuck about an exclusive. I just want a system that's going to give me all my gaming needs, and I don't play on PC." Go buy a PlayStation 4. Go.
But didn't they at the presentation they announced 80 plus games in development right now for the Switch?
Why would you get 80 plus games?
Development, but that doesn't tell us when they come out.
You can buy a $300 machine right now. They already got more than 80 plus games, and it's
listen, even better than that, a real gamer. I think you're still out there with Peter Pan, bro. The console is not capable of handling graphically demanding games. Same way the reason the Wii. I'm not saying that they're not going to get third-party support, okay? But they're not going to get the graphically demanding games.
Okay, this is my deal on this. Like for multiplayer on the Switch, like I don't think it's going to do it very well. The only way that the system would do well is first-party and a lot of third-party exclusives, kind of like with the 64. Like, you know, they didn't have as many support like the PlayStation, but they had a shitload of third-party exclusives, and I think they need to go get some route.
And how often do you get, bro? We just let, bro. Did we just see that with the Wii U? So even if they have third-party exclusives, okay, you don't get exclusives every month. Real gamer, you don't get exclusives every month. You get exclusives every 3 to 4 fucking months. You get multiplats every fucking Tuesday.
No, I understand that, but the Nintendo 64, they had like a shitload of third-party exclusives, and plus their first-party.
Did you hear what I said?
Listen, I understand you get multiplats every Tuesday. I understand that. That's why I own the Xbox and the PlayStation.
So how often do exclusives release? How often do they come out?
Yeah, probably every week or something like that.
Hey, can we agree on one thing though? There's a lot of unknowns with this system. There's like with the cartridge things, we don't really know how that's gonna work. You know, with the storage memory and everything. So like we're talking about too many unknowns.
No, that's 32 gigabytes for onboard memory. The cartridges themselves that put the game in, I don't know how much memory those hold.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got 32 gigabytes of online memory. Now look how much it takes to install a game on Xbox Live or PlayStation.
Switch.
It takes too that long. It took me an hour to install.
So we don't even know we don't know how big the files are going to be on these cartridges, or you know how many are going to be in there. What's going on with this?
You don't have to install none on the Switch. So have 32 gigs.
It's a plug and play. It's a plug and play.
Have a 32 gigs of memory on.
It's a plug and play. So is the 32 gigs just for the memory, or for your download memory?
The only problems about the Switch is that if you download some
updates for the game, how's that going to work?
What'd you say?
I said, what about updates for the games? How's that going to work? Because you know some of these games are probably going to need updates when they come out. Is that going to install onto the cartridge, or is that going to install straight into the hard drive?
32
A
gigs.
lot of questions that Nintendo needs to answer. Like that's what I could give y'all.
Installs to the hard drive. It never installed to the cartridge.
That's what I'm saying. So there's too many unknowns. I mean, are we going to be able to have external hard drive?
Fanny pack on.
That's the problem. Nintendo for not giving that information.
You can upgrade the SD card and you can get an external hard drive.
They're not accepting external hard drives.
No, they said that the thing can do it. The Switch can do it.
When?
If you have it, the dock can hold it through the USB.
250
I didn't read that. They said they was unsure. They said it takes away from the mobility of the console.
No, I know what you're talking about, but I'm saying it can't do it. They said they don't know if they're gonna enable it, but it can do it.
So it can,
Well, basically,
it can. It says it right here.
Just like, to be honest, the PS4 can do it too, but they won't they won't turn that switch on either.
Okay, well, so yeah, we got to handle it, so they're not allowing it. So again, that so like the answer, I'm not saying that they're not going to have third-party support. The Wii had a bunch of fucking third-party support. They had a bunch of fucking shovelware. But what I'm saying is this, that which is the problem again, they're not going to get the meat and the potatoes that the big blockbuster AAA game. So this will be the third generation in a row.
We don't know.
To be honest,
Actually,
listen.
If they have the same track record that they had with the Wii U, it's going to be like a year.
It hadn't came out.
Listen, how could you say I don't know when the console is not capable of running them? It's not powerful enough.
Okay, the Wii was powerful enough to run Mass Effect and what was the other game they get? Assassin's Creed. They didn't get those games, but they still got a lot of.
That's not what I said.
The sales. They still got a lot of third-party support because the Wii so really good.
I not listen, my brother? Listen, my dear sweet brother Noomsy. I'm gonna say this again. I'm not saying that the Switch won't get third-party support. What I said is it's not gonna get the meat and the potatoes. It's not gonna get the big games like the Xbox and the PlayStation 4.
No, I understand that. No, I'm with you on that.
Right.
Like
for example, they're getting FIFA, right? They're getting FIFA, right?
Yeah.
Right. FIFA what? That bitch is just called FIFA. They got their own fucking 360 port type version. That's what I'm talking about.
They're getting exclusive FIFA.
That's what I'm talking about. It's not running high resolution graphics. They're not getting that shit there. It's not possible.
That's what I'm getting at. A lot of the third-party games are going to probably have to be cut down to play on the Switch because it probably won't be able to handle the file size.
4 gigs of internal RAM. 4 fucking gigs. Now tell me how much of that is allocated for the fucking OS.
You cut it
Come on,
off,
man. It's just that's just common fucking sense.
Well, I don't buy. I buy from my exclusives.
Yeah, I need a drink. Goddamn. Listen, but I'm just saying this is the third generation. All I'm saying before we get that, this is the third generation in a row with this shit from Nintendo. It comes to time if we want better, we got to demand better. That's all. And why can't I have those same games on my Nintendo Switch? What if I can't afford multiple consoles? You know what I mean?
No, I see the same things. I understand.
Yeah, that's all that I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I got one quick question before you let us go.
Yeah.
Okay. What caused the Wii to sell really crazy? Was it the motion control?
You know what? They had that it was new, and they had that they had the Candy Crush of that generation of Wii Sports.
Okay. So with the Switch,
second part of the question is the Wii was in last place after the Kinect came out, and PlayStation was never the number one selling console again. And even with that right there, the motion control, we're so far past. Who the fuck still play motion control? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Listen, the money that they can spend on putting a beefier console, they know what the fuck. We're going to double down on motion control, and no one's asking for that shit.
Okay,
that's
with
the fucking problem.
With the Switch, what do you see that can possibly make this thing be a blockbuster hit? Do you see anything about it?
Nothing. It's if it was $150, if it was $150 fucking dollars, maybe. Man, it's cool. Not for who in their right mind is going to walk into a store, $300, right? And that's not including the game. So if you got 2 kids, you got to buy an extra fucking Joy-Con or whatever fuck. That's another $100. So we say about $450 walking out the store, not including tax. But then for $400, I get a motherfucking PS4 Pro. $300, I get a motherfucking Xbox One 3D. I mean, Xbox One with a fucking 4K Blu-ray. You know what I mean? I don't see how they can charge for that price of that.
That's the market that Nintendo is going after, though. You see, the market is the 3DS.
Listen, the 3DS market is not used to spending $65 for games, $300 for consoles. It's not their bro.
No,
I
don't
get
they
what
don't
you're
they
saying.
clarify two
Listen,
different Pokemon games every year? Every year there's 2 different Pokemon games. They all
bro. I get what you're saying, my brother, my black brother. I'm with you, okay. But when you got Nintendo saying that this is not, and they're not marketing it as a handheld, they're marketing it as their next generation console. Because they have a hugely successful 3DS market up there, and they don't want those to cannibalize each other, which is you're still getting support to this day. They gonna keep those two
if Pokemon comes on
apart.
the Switch? What happens if Pokemon comes on the Switch? Pokemon in HD. Compare a Pokemon to Pokemon on Sun and Moon. Pokemon.
Okay, bro, let me tell you something. You've had them Pokemon on every Nintendo platform since the GameCube. It doesn't fucking matter. You know why Pokemon was so successful this summer? Because everyone had a cell phone. They had to go out and buy additional hardware to play it. We gotta be realistically here, man.
So Pokemon on handhelds always done really great.
Where's the handheld you talking about?
They going after that mobile.
Honestly, Zaya, every time they put Pokemon on the handheld, it's done very well.
Hotcakes, bro. Hotcakes.
Just put a 3DS 240p resolution 3DS against a 720p screen. Pokemon. Who's gonna buy?
Hold on. Real. Say that again. Repeat that.
No, I'm saying is you got a Pokemon game that's in 240p on the 3DS, Pokemon Sun and Moon,
right.
And there's a rumor for Pokemon Stars to come on the Switch. You got a 240p resolution versus a 720p.
Oh, you telling niggas care about resolution? Wait, hold on, my brother. Who's gonna resolution?
For Nintendo fans, yes, that's a major upgrade, bro.
On some real shit, the Pokemon people don't give a fuck about the chip being in 720p. The shit
Fuck no.
They don't care about that.
They don't care.
They care if it's some new Pokemon on that motherfucker. They don't care if the motherfucker's 720p or not.
Say in Japan, that shit would sell like crazy.
Okay, again, but Japan is not the market leading industry. North America is in Europe. Japan is very small, bro.
Always done really well in Japan.
Listen, Zaire got excited when he saw Mario in New York. He thought he was gonna be banging hookers and killing people.
No. I must admit that Mario, it was something different. It was cool, but I can't justify spending $300 to play Mario. I ain't gonna do it, bro. I'm not. And then, like I said, I gotta put my foot down, man. I can't, I just, bro. I listen. I told you guys.
We will start a GoFundMe for you, bro.
Listen, if I have to have a list of demands on your fucking platform for me to spend my money with you, that's not a good sign, man.
So,
I'm not asking for major shit.
It's not more appealing than the one on the 3DS with shitty graphics.
What'd you say?
Graphics.
Pokemon on the
I think it's funny as hell that Nintendo niggas are talking about graphics. He said, I would say practice. We talking about nigga. We talking about graphics. If
no,
we
I'm
were
talking about the superior version. That's what I'm saying.
We talking about the Switch. There's nothing they showed like he couldn't run on a fucking Wii U, like last generation shit. So again, I don't know what they, I don't know, man. To me, it's very alarming, man. When you got the president of North America, Nintendo, coming out there and said they're gonna let Microsoft and Sony battle it out for the flops and stuff. Nintendo had to stop acting like they're not in the console space and this is not their competitors. You know what I mean? Like they don't sell their systems in the cloud.
The console space.
That's all. Like they have to listen. When you don't compete, and you think that's even Iwata said that himself. Nintendo does a horrible job at competing, and when you don't compete, you become what you are right now. And if you don't look at this console as your primary console for that price, that's an issue. That's all that I'm saying.
I swear, man, Pokemon become a really big hit on the Switch. I'm gonna have a I told you so video. I'm trying to tell you, it's more appealing.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying Pokemon may not sell well. There's a difference. You know what? Nintendo games sell well, okay, but they don't sell any hardware. They sell well. Mario Kart sold well. Still didn't win that month for the MPD. They've always had these games on their platform. It's nothing new. That's all that I'm saying. So I don't know why you guys saying, I said this every generation. Oh, when it's come up, it's going to do. No, the fuck it's not. So what? You always had Smash.
I mean, does it matter if it hit them on MPD?
That's not what you hear.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't give a fuck about the NPD. I give a fuck about the LAPD. That's why I ran this weekend and went to Vegas.
No, what I'm saying is this. He's saying I'm not, bro. Nintendo exclusives always said. Well,
I'm not negating that.
Their core, whatever they hardcore, buy it. But their games don't really appeal to anyone outside of that demographic of that diehard. We love it type joker. You know what I mean?
So basically, you want Nintendo to make stuff that appeals to you.
I want Nintendo
exactly.
That's what
Yeah, he is saying that.
Everybody.
But I'm gonna put this. But I'm gonna put this way. I'm gonna keep it real. My 10-year-old ain't played this fucking Wii U since I bought the shit. He's on the damn Xbox because that's where all his friends is at. So if you don't make that social, if Nintendo don't make that social gathering, he's 10 and 11. He's about to be 11 in March. His boys is on Xbox and PS4. That's what he talks on. So what he does, I'm like, hey, I said, you want to Switch? I talked to him this week. You want to Switch? What's the Switch? Oh yeah, 3DS. What I want to Switch for? He's worrying about blowing people up in Grand Theft Auto 5. My little cousin was on here all weekend. I heard on my goddamn Xbox. Grand Theft Auto 5.
I got a question for you. On the real, what the fuck was Nintendo thinking when they wanted to make their damn online on a fucking phone app?
I don't agree with that.
Honestly, it could be on the app. It needs to also be on the console too.
It does.
How the fuck?
It could be on both.
Like,
it has to be native.
though.
It has to be.
It need to be on. It need to be on both.
No, it needs to be built within the game.
Yeah, it has to be native.
It's being built within the system. Period. Like it does not need to be on a separate fucking device.
Oh, wait.
Look, if you can have Netflix on the Wii U, you can have voice chat, my nigga.
No. It doesn't go that way. Because if I'm gonna do that, I might as well use Discord because Discord's probably a better service and it's free. So why the fuck would I use that?
Have a Discord app.
Well, average
They do
Americans
have
don't.
Discord apps. I have it on my phone.
Average Americans
I
don't
have
know what
too.
the average Americans don't know what the damn Discord is. You guys got to explain that one.
When you're on your Xbox, right? I get on my Skype on Xbox from time to time, and I get on party chat. But I'll be honest, if I'm not finna, I don't know. I don't really want to talk. I talk to people, but if I got to get on my fucking phone, and then I might as well ask you which number is, call you on the fucking phone.
That's just call me. Like, why the fuck do you even have that on? Like, what the fuck were they thinking when they did that? They had to be high.
So how do we rectify the problem?
But good Pouch, I got a question, and I got a question for all y'all. What grown ass man talking to grown ass man on Skype? I thought that was for the butt naked women. It's 2016. What grown ass man on Skype?
On fucking Hangouts right now?
We ain't in video calls, nigga.
Yeah.
No, but I ain't on Skype. I think I might got next gen. I might got next gen, my brother, and maybe a cousin. Them all women on Skype. Cause I ain't getting on Skype to sit there. You better catch me in the Xbox party chat. You better call me.
Hey, Bone being on Meagle and shit, rubbing his bald head, trying to get some luck.
Hey.
But listen, how do we rectify the problem though?
You don't buy the shit.
Us keep spending our money, but we all agree that it's stupid. Us just keep throwing our money at Nintendo. Is that gonna make them change it? I don't know.
Fail to realize that they need to change.
For anybody that don't like the shit, you don't buy the shit. I agree with that 100%. You don't like what Nintendo doing, don't buy it.
Yeah, I'm just
depends on the individual.
That's why I don't like Nintendo's launch because all they got day one is Zelda, and I do want to play Zelda, but to be honest, I could just get a Wii U if I really want to play Zelda, and I already know what's there on the Wii U to play. If I really, but see, that's why I'm waiting for more games to come out. I hope the shit don't got droughts. That was my biggest issue with the Wii U, but I'm gonna be honest.
My big one of my big issues is that 1-2 Switch game. That should be a pack game.
It should.
That should have been made.
I agree.
That's another question, man. Like none of these have pack-in games, really, from what I'm seeing.
That 1-2 Switch shouldn't have been made. Anybody saying that's for the grandpa? Listen, with the Wii, if you went to your grandma and said, "Hey, grandma, let's go bowling on Wii," that she understands that. You say, "Grandma, let's go milk a cow on Wii," she'll look at you like you're crazy. Nobody's playing 1-2 Switch. Nobody's playing 1-2 Switch. That's some shit at a party.
Hey, grandma, don't you like westerns? I got something for you.
Say that at a party.
You bust that out when you're drunk.
Hey, now real shit though. Every drunken party I've been to, some people do bring out the Wii and start playing bowling and throwing shit. You know what I'm saying? It does happen.
But milk a cow?
Nah, we ain't doing none of that.
See how many ice cubes you got in your thing?
Well, I mean, I understand what they did that for. They want to show off the haptic feedback.
That's cool because I like the vibration, the trigger shit. And when I play Forza on the Xbox, that shit is tight, but that shit ain't barely used either. So I can only imagine all that cool shit in the Joy-Cons don't get used.
Yeah, so they got a lot of taking them little Joy-Cons. Well, I mean, everything I've been looking, everybody says it's comfortable. Nonetheless, I haven't seen anybody. The people that actually played it.
I'll be honest, I'm gonna be mad as shit if I get that Switch.
I think I see kind of funny say. I think it was like the left Joy-Con, where the
Yeah,
the
it's
thumbstick is. It's really
more.
weird.
Yeah, it's just not in the middle.
So
No, it's in the
middle.
middle.
I got a question for y'all guys. Like, what happens if Nintendo get like a whole bunch of third-party exclusives, like Beyond Good and Evil, even though that is a rumor, and Turok comes back, Eternal Darkness come back? Like,
They can't get Turok because that's an Activision, if I'm not mistaken.
What would be your perspective on Nintendo now if they get like hardcore exclusive?
That's gonna be irrelevant because that's just like when the Sony dudes say, "Man, I want Siphon Filter back." When you're saying that because you're living through nostalgia, nobody want to play fucking Siphon Filter on PS1 with the tank controls no more. You know what I'm saying? So when you think of Turok, you're thinking about the old Turok. You're not thinking about Turok on the 360. You know what I'm saying? Which is going to be the closest thing you're going to get. It's not going to play the same. So saying I'm getting a new Turok, that's just Turok in name. That's just basically saying I'm getting a first-person shooter with dinosaurs. Or
they don't necessarily own that IP anymore.
Game, they can actually evolve the game. Like,
it don't matter if it's they on the IP. I'm just saying if they change the game so much, then this might as well. Is it really Turok? I mean, it will be in.
No, I'm just basing like if they get like a shitload of third-party exclusives, like hardcore.
Listen, you know what? Listen, to answer your question, honestly, and again, I'm not saying they're not gonna have their fair share of games, but they still got dog shit hardware. It's still like it made it look prime example. It felt like I was taking a step back on my Wii U when I got the Wii U. You know what I mean? It felt like I was taking a step forward. And with this console, I feel like I should be taking a step forward. And it doesn't look better than graphically, you know what I mean? Going back to get graphics than what I'm used to playing right now. I still got a problem with that, man. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. Like, I'm upset with this. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather Nintendo put out a fucking capable console? They still could have did that kitty flute shit. Wouldn't you feel better as a consumer if they would have put out fucking a capable hardware that's going to be on the market for 5 years, not this outdated shit here?
Yes.
That's all.
Like honestly, I'd rather them put out a normal machine, package it with the controller, and then say, "Hey, look, we got the Joy-Cons over here too for separate shit. Separate type of arms. Yeah, cool."
Yes. So basically, you said capable console. Like, basically, what's the price of it? Because their console always been like cheap.
It could have been $300-$400 if they just made it normal. It could still have been $300-$400. It would have been more powerful when it had to be portable and nothing. Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, I didn't ask. Did you ask for a fucking handheld? No, I didn't see anybody ask for a handheld. They asked for a console, a capable console. Nobody asked for this shit here. It's the same thing with the Nintendo. I mean, Microsoft got shit in. When you sacrifice the specs of your console to include a peripherals that people may not fucking want. It's just fucking basic business 101. We've seen what happened for the last 3 years with the whole 1080p, 980p shit, whether you agree with it or not, but it was a fucking issue. So when you coming out there and trying to give us some ice cubes in the cup that no one fucking asked for and say, hey, that's why it's $300, motherfuckers gonna have an issue with that, man. I don't give a fuck how much you love Nintendo. Nobody asked for that shit, bro. Just give it. You can still make your flute games. I'm not, listen, you know what I hate when people say, well, then that's gonna make them like Microsoft and Sony. No, it's the fuck not, okay? My Xbox ain't shit like my PlayStation. It's exclusives that give these consoles their identity, okay? You can still do that shit, okay? But you also have to offer everything else that your competitor's doing. You know what I mean? And you can't do that, and that's the problem. You asking for the same amount of money as your competitors, and you want to offer a fraction of what they offer? Come on, bro. This shit is that's just basic business 101. They ain't me bugging or hating. Like, come on, man. I don't give a fuck. Bro, it'll be the same thing with Microsoft did that dumb shit. I'll be saying the same shit. Like, you bugging. You know what I mean? That's all, man. But
there's still a lot that needs to be answered. I don't know.
We're gonna catch this out here playing 1-2 switch, bet.
Listen, I just told you guys before.
I love to see you 1-2 switch.
Listen, I told you my wife likes Mario.
Say he's got that shit when Mario comes out.
Me personally, I didn't pre-order it. I don't get my shit day one. If my wife wants one, if Christmas for her birthday, if she wants to go out, it's up to her.
So we already know his alibi.
I heard it from his daughter. Listen, I keep it real deal, man. The Holyfield. I don't like Mario enough to spend $300, bro. I don't give a fuck what the fuck am I? I'm not gonna spend $300 to play Mario. I wanted Bayonetta 2. I couldn't keep my fucking Wii U. Just like, come on, it ain't fucking worth it to me, man. Just to sit there to play one goddamn game.
If you get the Switch, are you playing 1-2 switch with the family?
Oh hell no! Fuck my family. Gaming is a very selfish hobby, bro. Oh, I think everybody got the fucking Cosby's in the house. What about support for my family? Nigga, fuck my family, nigga. If gaming is a very selfish hobby, you know what I mean? Fuck my wife don't sit down and play video games with me in the background and all that shit. Like, hell no, not over here. Shit. I just, man, fuck that, man. But like I said, it is what it is, man. Thank you all guys for coming on here, and maybe we can do something again. It was a great, nice talking to you guys, man. I got
New
my
podcast is called Let's Be Honest. Tune in on Mondays.
Yo, Warren, what's the name of this? Let's be honest. I'm just saying though. You know what, Zaire? I just got to keep it real, though, Zaire. Fuck you, fat gamer. But now, thank you for rocking out with us, ladies and gentlemen. This is supposed to be a 30-minute show. You didn't have any bitch for about 2.5 hours talking about this goddamn dog console, man.
I think it was 3 hours.
Everybody coming on. Yo, hey, Obi-Wan, just scary ass. He said about me. Yo, I came up there. I didn't know you when you hit. Man, get your scary ass.
Oh, man,
what is going on, everyone?
Yeah, that's funny.